So happy to see our chambers filled. I love advocacy. Welcome to the City of Miami Commission meeting for September 12th, 2024. I am joined with a couple of my colleagues today, Commissioner Reyes and Commissioner Miguel Gabella. We are going to start our proclamation and recognition portion of our commission meeting. I'm going to introduce our mayor, Francis Suarez, who is going to kick us off for these proclamations. Good morning, Mr. Mayor.
Good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair. How's everyone feeling today? All right. Looks like everyone drank their Cuban coffee. Yeah. You have your colorful shirts on. Good. Awesome. So today we're going to start our proclamations with our chair. I'm going to hand it back to her so she can kick it off for us, guys. Thank you.
So we're recognizing Fireman Derek's Bake Shop that's located in Wynwood. Are you...
No. It's located in Coconut Grove, but he opened one up in Wynwood. Okay.
Well, there you go. Corrections.
You know, it's right there in the Grove. He has one.
No, I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And congratulations on opening a location in Wynwood. I love that because I'm in Wynwood all the time, my district. Okay, so the mayor just said he eats his pies all the time, and we are honoring him today for feeding the city of Miami, doing such a great job with the city of Miami. We wish you much success and another 100 years of being here, serving our more locations. Would you like to say something?
Sure. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody. You know, I have always enjoyed feeding people, feeding the community, and being of service to the community. I've always taken that seriously. So appreciate the recognition and hope to see you guys around the community.
Thank you, Commissioner Pardo. Would you like to say something? All right. Picture time. We're going to recognize our men and women in blue now.
Yeah, I like that. Yes, we could give it up for the men and women in blue. So this is not meant as a political recognition, because we get called by neighboring and sister jurisdictions around the country to participate in major events. And I had the honor of receiving in Milwaukee the men and women of our law enforcement department who did a phenomenal job providing national security for the Republican National Convention. And again, this is not about whether it was a Republican National Convention or the Democratic National Convention. The point is that when there's a major event in the United States that impacts the brand of the U.S. and requires high-level security, we're often called by other jurisdictions. The police chief of Milwaukee, who I got to meet, called our police chief, and they have a relationship and asked for resources, and we provided those resources. And I have to say, these officers were an hour away in a campus of a university with no air conditioning, and it was really, really hot. And believe it or not, in Milwaukee, it was very, very hot. And they were there, a little bit of Cuban coffee, very little in comparison to the plethora of Cuban coffee we have here in Miami. And they worked long hours, and they represented us with tremendous dignity, as they always do. And so we're very proud to commend their service. Thank you. We're going to do the commendation distribution in bulk, but we just want to have our, you want to say a few words, Chief? Okay, good. Just a picture. Let's go. Oh, you want to see? Yeah. Oh, you want to see? Is it okay if Al says just a word? Yeah, he does.
Good morning. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Chief Morales for giving us the opportunity to go to Milwaukee and represent our city, represent our department. Also, Mayor, thank you not only for proposing and recommending these proclamations, but also for visiting us while we were there in the no AC environment. And last but not least, I certainly would like to thank these 47. There's not all 47 are here because of scheduling; they couldn't make it. But thank these officers for volunteering to participate with a very historical event in Milwaukee, not knowing what they were going to be facing, having to deal with extra riot training, tear gas, which they enjoyed, and not knowing what they were going to be confronting in Milwaukee. So thank you to them. They represented our city, they represented our department with pride, with honor, and professionalism. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
And now we are going to recognize our Heat team. Heat team.
This is for their work in the neighborhood of Alapata, and I want to have the district commissioner handle these proclamations.
Thank you, Mayor. Democracy at work. Thank you all. Whereas the City of Miami Police Department's Homeless Empowerment Assistance Team, the HEAT, otherwise known, was established on August 2nd, 2021, and is composed of crisis intervention, certified officers specially trained to support individuals in crisis and those suffering from mental illness. And whereas HEAT officers work in collaboration with community members, the Homeless Assistance Trust, the Department of Human Services, Solid Waste, Camillus House, and other entities to provide outreach to individuals facing homelessness, helping to empower them to overcome barriers and access essential services. And whereas HEAT's mission is to prevent and reduce homelessness by offering proper care, facilitating connections to treatment, and providing access to shelter options, thus supporting individuals on a path to long-term stability and breaking the cycle of homelessness. And whereas in 2023, the HEAT team expanded by adding 6 officers, grow into a total of 15 officers and 2 sergeants, which allowed the team to engage in more consistent and far-reaching outreach efforts throughout the city, including nighttime outreach operations. And whereas the HEAT has made a significant impact through the establishment of strong, positive relationships with individuals within the homeless community, some of which have led to successful transitions into stable housing and employment. And whereas on Saturday, August 10th, the HEAT team, in collaboration with the Alapata neighborhood support staff, conducted a major operation engaging homeless individuals to offer shelter and conducting cleanup activities to improve the quality of life for all Miami residents. And now, therefore, I, Francis Mayor Miguel Gabela, Commissioner Miguel Gabela, do hereby recognize and commend you continued dedication to serving and improving the lives of the homeless community. I further express gratitude for your commitment to making the city of Miami a better, safer, and more compassionate place for all its residents. We, a heart of gratitude, we applaud. Thank you.
I just want to really thank you guys. You work with our office all the time. I want to thank you on behalf of District 2, also on behalf of Omni CRA. You're so important to the mission and to what we do every day. We have the Chapman Partnership and we have Miami Rescue Mission with all of our boundaries, and you're essential to our services. Thank you very much.
I think the whole of the city of Miami loves the HEAT team. They do amazing work. And as you know, I believe Commissioner Gabela and I have the most homeless in our communities. And I've gone on ride-alongs with them in the night, addressing the homeless situation, helping to get people in shelter. They do an amazing job. And it's a very difficult job because you address one area and 2 hours later, it's back. So it's a thankless job that they do. It's often a dangerous job, and they do it with compassion, which is what I love, because we are not trying to criminalize our homeless, our houseless. We're trying to help them, and they do a phenomenal job with the leadership of their director, Mr. David. So thank you. Commissioner Reyes?
I have to thank you guys, because every time that we call you, you're always there. I mean, your response is almost immediate. And I share of the DDA, the service that you have given the DDA, it is invaluable. And thank you very much for being so professional and for the service that you are providing the citizens or the residents of the city of Miami. And be careful out there, okay? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Would you like to, Chief, would you like to say something?
Did Major Guerra leave? He doesn't want to say anything about this group. He was talking about the other guys, but everybody cares about their own. But let me tell you something. What you see up here is absolutely individuals that are dedicated to a labor of love. When they go out there, if you see them interacting with these unsheltered individuals, man, you get the passion. You get the caring that they have in their heart. So I invite anybody, if you ever want to do a ride-along that's going to change the way that you see the way our society treats and goes out of the way to help those that need it the most, you got to ride with the HEAT team. So for that, you have my absolute gratitude. Thank you very much for what you do each and every day. You guys are fantastic. Thank you.
And just to piggyback a little bit off what the chief said, I often say that our officers have the hardest job in America, that there isn't a job in America where people are paid less to take more risk and have, more risk to themselves and also their livelihood. What you see when you see these officers interacting with the homeless is you see their skill level, how they go beyond just what you would consider, what most people would consider to be what a police officer's role is or where it function is. They're acting like sociologists. They're acting like psychologists. They're acting like social workers, right? They're out there caring for these individuals, treating them like human beings. They know their names. They know where they are. They know where they go to. They know what they have. So it's a very, 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 very difficult, stressful job, but they handle it with a lot of grace, and it's tough because we want to keep and treat the homeless with dignity and respect, and at the same time we have to understand that we have 500,000 residents in our city that are impacted also by homelessness, and so they do the very best that they can to manage this balance and in a very difficult and dynamic environment. Thank you guys, really, thank you.
And I'd like to mention the name. First is Officer Andy Torres. Congratulations. Officer Luis Hernandez. Officer Luis Arias. Officer Jose Moreno. Officer Jose Gutierrez. Officer Shakima Williams. Officer Vivian Collins. Officer Debes Huste. Officer Fermaine Lattimore. Sergeant Stanley Winfred. Sergeant Pedro Vera. Commander Jorge L. Rodriguez. Officer Joel Suarez. Okay, he's not here. And three more. Officer Jessica Ogendo. Officer Pierre Simpson. Officer Andre Paul Noel. Officer Artis Flores. And last but not least, Officer Omar Macedo. Thank you all for what you do from the bottom of our heart.
And we also want to acknowledge the green shirts for their support of the Heat team as well, because they are really on the ground. They are doing the work. They are doing the work. So thank you guys. Thank all of you. Thank all of you for the work that you are doing to keep our streets and our homeless persons safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's my turn now. Chief, I have a question for you. I see so many police officers here. Who's patrolling our streets?
We still got a couple of guys out there.
Oh, okay. I don't want
One or two.
I don't want anybody to make a mistake to say no.
Everybody else being recognized.
Okay. No, they are very well-deserved recognitions. Very well-deserved recognition. I have a recognition here for Detective Bonillas, and his investigation led to the arrest of an individual, and was very close to home, that targeted elderly residents while posing as a water inspection in the Flegami area. This is in my area, and I have to warn all of you. You see, when somebody comes to your house and claims to be an inspector and all of that, ask for identification, and if you can, just call and ask to make sure that you have inspectors in the area. You see, using advanced technology and thorough detective work, Detective Bonilla identified the individual and linked him to several offenses. His efforts also uncovered additional victims throughout pawn shops transaction. For Detective Erasmo Bonilla, congratulations. And this is, ¿dónde está Bonilla? Ah, aquí está. ¿Tú eres familia del pelotero? ¿Sí? Well, Bobby, great. You look like him, you know. Okay. I have somebody else here. Okay. Detective Santos. Where's Detective Santos? Detective Santos. How you doing, man? You see, let me tell you something. I'm real proud of our police department. They are really working hard. Give them a round of applause. You see, they are working hard. And as I said when we were doing the budget, we had that budget discussion last meeting. I'm not happy with the amount of police that we have. We have to have more patrols, more people in the streets patrolling every single neighborhood because crime is increasing. You see, and many people, most of them is petty crime, but petty crime hurts also. Over the past year, Detective Santos played a pivotal role in solving multiple burglaries across Miami, leading to the arrest of suspects responsible for numerous break-ins and damages. Despite limited initial leads, Detective Santos demonstrated tenacity, reopening cases, analyzing video, and connecting critical details. His skill in using evidence such as video footage and fingerprint analysis ensured the successful apprehension of the suspect. For that, we must congratulate Officer Santos, and we have to recognize him, and I want a round of applause for him. You see, they are doing all police work, detective work. You see, they are going back to what they were taught and use technology to try to get these people that are committing crime. Okay. Robbery. Okay. We had a robbery, also in my district, and that following the robbery on August 20, 2024, our officers demonstrated exceptional teamwork and investigative skills, identifying and apprehending the suspect in a matter of days. Using surveillance footage and advanced technology, the team was able to track down the suspect's vehicle and locate him at a local hotel. Their diligent efforts linked to the suspect to additional crimes, leading to the recovery of stolen property and ensuring the individual was brought to justice. Lieutenant Elvin Guzman. En español, Guzmán. Okay. Thank you. Sure. Sergeant Blake Wenger. Sergeant? It's not here. Okay. Oh, he's working. Sergeant Thelia Reynolds. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Detective Theodore Raymond. Thank you. Detective Jesus or Jesus Fong. He's not here. Detective Gwendolyn Montes. Detective Maximilian Kennan. And Detective Volkan Erzolu. Thank you very much for your service, and please be careful out there. Okay, thank you. Now we have another bunch. Okay. Absolutely. This is a big, big group. On July 25th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a burglary in progress, where armed suspects were caught on surveillance entering a property. Upon arriving, our officers faced armed subjects attempting to flee, discarding evidence as they escaped. Throughout the coordinated efforts of multiple units, the suspects were swiftly detained and led to the arrest of 5 individuals and the recovery of a rifle, several handguns, and 142.96 pounds of marijuana, and also $40,981 in cash. For that tremendous and effective job, we want to commend Lieutenant Luis Sierra. ¿Dónde está tu lieutenant? Gracias. Thank you very much. Okay. Sergeant Antonio Ginzo. Sergeant Kelly Surami. Okay, somebody give it to her. Sergeant Rafael Muina. Muina. Thank you. Officer Jorge Marquez. Officer Mark Saul. Right on. Right on. That's right. That's right. Officer Brandon Carrero. It's not here. Take it to him. Officer Jonathan Lavernia. Officer Alexis Machado. Thank you. Officer Daniel Ubeda. Officer Raúl Pérez. Not here. Officer Anthony Cruz. Right on. Okay. Officer Wilfred Perez. And Officer Francisco Castillo. Thank you, guys. And also I have to thank you again for what you did. You see, this took place a couple of blocks from my home. And that's why we need to be patrolling, and we need to be more alert on all the type of crimes that it is going on in our city and in all the neighborhoods. Thank you very much, and be careful out there. Thank you.
At this time, we are going to begin our meeting with prayer. I am honored to have today Bishop Peter Eaton of the Episcopal Church in Southeast Florida. Good morning, Bishop. So happy to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm delighted to be here to open the first session after the summer break with prayer. I'm very grateful to the chair for inviting me and for the commissioners for hosting me this morning. I just want to say a couple of things before I begin so that you know what's going to happen, because one should never pray without some preparation. I'm going to read 3 short prayers, one for our city, one for our country, and because today is the day after the 23rd anniversary of 9/11, I'm going to say a prayer in commemoration of that. So, would you please stand if you are able to do so? Let us pray. Almighty God, our Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for our great city of Miami, for our elected officials, and for our diverse peoples, cultures, and heritage. Send down upon our mayor, our commissioners, and all those who hold office in our city the spirit of wisdom, charity, and justice, that with prudence and steadfast purpose they may faithfully serve in their offices to promote the well-being of all our peoples. We ask this for the sake of your love. Amen. O Lord, our governor, whose glory is in all the world, we commend this nation to your merciful care, that being guided by your providence, we may dwell secure in your peace. Grant to the President of the United States, the governor of our state, and to all in authority, wisdom and strength to know and to do your will. And bless all those who are offering themselves for election to public office in this election season. Fill them with the love of truth and righteousness, and make them ever mindful of their calling to serve this people in your fear. In your name we pray. Amen. Loving God, we remember before you today those whose lives were lost on the 11th of September 2001, and for all those whom we love but see no longer. We give thanks to you for the selfless courage of those brave first responders and others who ran into burning buildings and who labored in the rubble. May their courage be to us a witness of what is possible when we are guided by love and dedication to our fellow human beings. We pray today for the continued healing of all those suffering emotional and physical scars. May your Spirit breathe new breath into clouded lungs, new life into troubled minds, and new warmth into broken hearts, so that all may feel gathered in your loving embrace. May we move from suffering to hope, from brokenness to wholeness, from anxiety to courage, from death to life, from fear to love, and from despair to hope. Guide our feet into the way of peace and inspire us with hope in the gift of peace. May we receive this gift so that we may become instruments of your peace in this world, knowing all people to be equally loved, lovingly created, children of God. Amen.
Thank you, Bishop. Commissioner Pardo, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this time, I will have the city attorney read his statement into the record. You all may be seated.
Thank you, Madam Chair. George Weissong, City Attorney, City of Miami. Detailed information about the processes, order of business, rules of procedure, and scheduling or rescheduling of City Commission meetings can be found in Chapter 2, Article 2 of the City Code, a copy of which is available online at www.munico.com. Any person who is a lobbyist pursuant to Chapter 2, Article 6 of the City Code must register with the City Clerk and comply with related city requirements for lobbyists before appearing before the City Commission. A person may not lobby a city official, board member, or staff member until registering. A copy of the code section about lobbyists is available in the City Clerk's office or online at www.munico.com. Any person making a presentation, formal request, or petition to the City Commission concerning real property must make the disclosures required by the City Code in writing. A copy of this City Code section is available at the office of the City Clerk or online at www.munico.com. The City of Miami requires that anyone requesting action by the City Commission must disclose before the hearing any consideration provided or committed to anyone for agreement to support or withhold objection to the requested action pursuant to City Code Section 2-8. Any document offered to the City Commission that have not been provided 7 days before the meeting as part of the agenda materials will be entered into the record at the City Commission's discretion. In accordance with Section 2-33F and G of the City Code, the agenda and the material for each item on the agenda is available during business hours at the City Clerk's office and online 24 hours a day at www.miamigov.com. Any person may be heard by the City Commission through the Chair for not more than 2 minutes on any proposition before the City Commission unless modified by the Chair. Public comment will begin at approximately 10:15 a.m. and remain open until public comment is closed by the chairperson. Members of the public wishing to address the body may do so by submitting written comments via the online comment form. Please visit www.miamigov.com/meeting instructions for detailed instructions on how to provide public comment using the online public comment form. The comments submitted through the comment form have been and will be distributed to the elected officials, their staff, and city administration throughout the day so that the elected officials may consider the comments prior to taking any action. Additionally, the online comment form will remain open during the meeting to accept comments and distribute to the elected officials, their staff, and the city administration up until the chairperson closes public comment. Public comment may also be provided here at City Hall, located at 3500 Pan American Drive, Miami, Florida, subject to any and all city rules as they may be amended. If the proposition is being continued or rescheduled, the opportunity to be heard may be at such later date before the City Commission takes action on such proposition. When addressing the City Commission, the member of the public must first state their name, their address, and what item will be spoken about. Any person with a disability requiring assistance, auxiliary aids, and services for this meeting may notify the City Clerk. The City has provided different public comment methods to indicate, among other things, the public support, opposition, or neutrality on the items and topics to be discussed at the City Commission meeting in compliance with Section 286.01144C Florida statutes. The public has been given the opportunity to provide public comment during the meeting and within reasonable proximity and time before the meeting. Please note, commissioners have generally been briefed by city staff and the city attorney's office on items on the agenda today. Anyone wishing a verbatim record of any item considered at this meeting may request it at the Office of Communications or view it online at www.miamigov.com. Planning and zoning items shall proceed according to Section 7.1.4 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. Parties for any PZ items, including any applicant, appellant, appellee, city staff, and any person recognized by the decision-making body as a qualified intervener, as well as the applicant's representatives and any experts testifying on behalf of the applicant, appellant, or appellee may be physically present at City Hall to be sworn in by oath or affirmation by the City Clerk. The members of the City Commission shall disclose any ex parte communications to remove the presumption of prejudice pursuant to Florida Statute 286.0115 and Section 7.1.4.5 of the Miami 21 zoning ordinance. The order of presentation shall be as set forth in Miami 21 and in the City Code. The staff will briefly present each item to be heard. The applicant will present its application and request to the City Commission. If the applicant agrees with the staff recommendation, the City Commission may proceed to its deliberation and decision. The applicant may also waive the right to an evidentiary hearing on the record. For appeals, the appellant will present its appeal to the City Commission, followed by the appellee. Staff will be allowed to make any recommendation they may have. Please silence all cell phones and other noise-making devices. And finally, this meeting can be viewed live on Miami TV, the city's Facebook page, the city's Twitter page, the city's YouTube channel, and Comcast Channel 77. The broadcast will also have closed captioning. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mr. City Clerk, would you please read your statement for the record?
Thank you, Chair. The procedures for individuals who will be providing testimony sworn in for planning and zoning items and any quasi-judicial items on today's City Commission agenda will be as follows. The members of city staff or any other individuals required to be sworn in who are currently present at City Hall will be sworn in by me, the City Clerk, immediately after I finish explaining these procedures. Those individuals who are appearing remotely may be sworn in now or at any time prior to the individual providing testimony for planning and zoning items and/or quasi-judicial items. Commissioners, are you comfortable with all notice provisions set forth in these uniform rules and procedures we have established for this meeting?
Yes,
Thank you, Chair. May I administer the oath?
please.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If we will be speaking on any of today's planning and zoning items, the PZ items, planning and zoning items, may I please have you stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? And your response is? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, do you have any items that are going to be withdrawn or deferred from the agenda?
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, Mr. City Attorney, Mr. City Clerk. At this time, the administration would like to defer and or withdraw the following items. PH3 to be indefinitely deferred. SR3 to be deferred to September 26th. SR5 to be deferred to October 10th. DI1 to be withdrawn. And then, Madam Chair, there will be probably an additional item to be deferred, but after the public comment.
Okay. I'm going to ask my colleagues now. Vice Chair, are there any items that you would like to have withdrawn or deferred?
Madam Chair, I'm going to wait until public comment before I talk about a couple items that I would like to defer.
Commissioner Cabela?
No, I'm okay with what you're deferring now.
Commissioner Pardo?
On FR1, I'd like to defer just because I'd like a little more information.
Which is FR1.
Voting outcomes.
Excuse me?
Voting outcomes, City Commission.
Hold on. It's who put that in? You, Mr. Clerk?
That was our item, Mr. Vice Chair. The City Attorney's Office, it was an attempt to provide clarity in the procedures. I have no issue if it's deferred, if you have a busy agenda.
It is, Madam Chair.
Commissioner
I
Reyes?
believe that this is the only thing that we are doing by voting for this, is accepting the results.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Accepting the results of the election, and
No.
it is not? Okay.
Let's see, amending
It's
FR1, correct?
yes.
Correct.
It's to clarify votes as they're taken and what the actual results are relative to
Okay,
whether an item is
okay.
denied, right, or is if there's a
Right, if there's a-
recommendation for denial, how that vote should proceed. It's just clarifying the rules
I'm
of order.
sorry, I'm sorry,
relative
I
to votes.
stand corrected. I stand corrected. Thank you very much. You see, sometimes we all make mistakes.
Can I, just for purposes of, 'cause I don't know that we got it.
No, I'm
FR1
gonna-
is
I'm
to be
gonna-
deferred to when? What's the
First meeting?
next meeting?
Yeah, I guess the
Or October? September 26th or October 26th?
Is there anything that would affect this meeting, Mr. City Attorney, if this is deferred?
No, sir. This was just a cleanup item, so it has no impact on the meeting.
All right,
Thank you.
that's fine.
And Chair, we'll show that as a deferral to September 26th.
September or October?
September.
Currently, I have September 26th.
A little more time.
Okay. Commissioner Reyes, do you have any items that you would like to withdraw or defer?
No, ma'am, no, not at this time.
Okay. At this time, may I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The agenda has now been set. And at this time, I'm going to open the floor for public comment. I would like to allow our public defender who is here, he has to get back to work. There's a trial that requires his attention, so if you don't mind, I'd like to give him an opportunity to speak first, and then all others are welcome to come and speak on any items before us on this agenda. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman, and good morning, Commissioners. As you all know, I live and work in the city of Miami. My name is Carlos Martinez. I am the Miami-Dade Public Defender. And I'm here in support of item RE12, which is the extension of life of the Omni CRA. And I previously spoken on this issue, so I'm going to be even shorter than I was last time. We have a desperate need for availability of affordable and workforce housing in the urban core, particularly availability of housing at 120% of AMI. In terms of my staff, 65% of my employees, and I have 350 of them, 65% of them are earning less than the 120%. 50% of my attorneys are making less than 120% AMI. The starting salary for an attorney in my office is $70,000. For support staff, it's $33,000. They are underpaid, severely underpaid, and having this type of affordable housing is critical. It's a critical and powerful recruitment and retainment tool that is available really to private and public sectors. It's important that my attorneys are able to live in the urban core because that is close to my office. And thankfully, a lot of the young attorneys do not have cars. And if they can live in the urban core, my office is less than 2 miles away. Carlos Migoya, the Public Health Trust Chairman, Catherine Fernandez-Rondo, the State Attorney, all of us know that we have a serious problem that we need affordable workforce housing. So I hope that you will support this item.
Through the chair.
Thank you.
Through the chair. Let me make a comment here.
Commissioner Reyes,
Thank you. Hold on a second.
let me finish what I'm going to say. I'm going to allow you to speak, but I would like to ask my colleagues to refrain from speaking during the public comment because we have a lot of folks that would like to speak.
I'm just going to make a comment because this is very close to my philosophy. I've been preaching since day one that when they call workforce housing and they go all the way up to 100, before it was 140, 120, it is not workforce. It's a misnomer to the majority of workers. The majority of workers. And as you stated, they're making less. Most of your employees are making less. I had a meeting with the superintendent school, and I told him, you have to, he was talking about teachers. Some of the teachers, they don't make that money because 120 is $80-some thousand a year. And I told him, you see, I was a teacher, and I know how much a teacher makes. And I said, well, how about when we call workers, it is going to be workforce. How about the workforce of the people that clean the buildings, the people that cook the food, the people that are delivering the food, the people that have all the secretaries, for example? They won't be able to pay what is being asked. And I will vote against anything that is. That's why I presented a resolution that it cannot go over 100%. And I will not vote in anything that goes over 100%.
Chairwoman, just 30 seconds. Mr. Martinez, you mentioned that you need this housing in the core area of the city. Do you consider Overtown part of that core area?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's close to my office.
Do you consider Little Havana, Alapata, part of the core area?
All of that is close to my
Okay.
office.
Thank you.
That's all of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your
Appreciate
advocacy. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Yeah, we
Good
just
morning.
established, Mr. Martinez, when he said core area, he considers Overtown, Alapata, Little Havana, part of the core area too with the Omni area.
And I just want to add that for 24 years, Isaiah Jones admitted that that area was not invested in until now.
Yeah.
I want to put that on the record.
I'll reserve my remarks.
Okay, that's what I was trying to avoid so that we aren't going back and forth with every person that's engaging us and allow the public comment to flow. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm Rebecca Howdegi, and I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to speak in favor of Resolution 16508. I have quite literally served at Miami Bethany Community Service my entire life. I am a witness to the sacrifice of my parents and the entire army of volunteers who make this work possible under rain or sun, even during the pandemic, with minimal conditions and non-stop throughout the 52 weeks of the year. I am also a witness of how a month ago, August 11th, a City of Miami code enforcement inspector left us a notice of violation for the containers and the aluminum roof that we use to alleviate the significant inflation in food and housing costs. The situation of our residents is getting worse, and the city officials are limiting us, sadly, from helping. We need an urgent solution. I firmly believe that a favorable vote from each of you could significantly improve the situation, and I am confident that 5 districts of Miami will reap the benefits. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Please. Nope. We're not clapping. We're not clapping. We only clap during our recognition portion of the commission meeting, our proclamations. Those of you who want to show your support, please do like this. Correct. So we won't have that. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Crystal Ivory, and I am a City of Miami resident and iPrep parent. I was here in July as well, so I'll be brief. I'm here again asking for all of the commissioners' support to ratify the Omni CRA. Although the communities are different, the needs are the same, and they're valid. And I ask that this ratification is not delayed or derailed, and that you all work together to get the Omni CRA extended with relief for District 1 as well, so that both communities can thrive. I urge you guys to work together for the common good of the community. Please ratify the Omni CRA today, please.
Thank you. Also, I'm going to ask that we line up 5 at a time on each side. Our fire department has advised me that it becomes a hazard to have more than 5 people. We don't want the exits to be blocked. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm Michael Wall. I live in the city at 2675 South Bayshore Drive. Most of you know me as an affordable housing developer. I just gave my card to the gentleman who's in search of affordable housing. I'm going to work with his group to place his employees. I'm here in support of Miami Bethany Church, who is our partner in our new development that's going to be starting the first quarter of next year. Dulce Vita in Alapata. We're all excited about commencing construction. Kudos to my friend, Commissioner Cabela, who was instrumental in bringing this forward. I can't think of a better local, not-for-profit, community-based organization than Miami Bethany Church. They are amazing. And one of the things they do is they have a food bank. They have a food bank on site at the church that, frankly, is a non-conforming use at the church. And they're in need of expanding the food bank and administering the food bank and having a new location. That's why I support their item here. I think it's 16508 in taking over an abandoned city parcel for that purposes. I have personally given donations, significant donations, to the Bethany Church to support this food bank. It is greatly needed in the community, so I would encourage the commissioners to act accordingly. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm here to speak on FR2. My name is Michael Filing. I live at 900 Biscayne Boulevard. I've also been referred to by Commissioner Carollo in the Miami Herald at Bayfront Trust Board meetings. Should I start over?
Yeah. Or no.
Okay. Hi, I'm here to speak on FR2. My name is Michael Filing. I live at 900 Biscayne Boulevard. I have also been referred to by Commissioner Carollo in the Miami Herald at Bayfront Trust board meetings and from this dais as the mayor of Foray Park. This in addition to his ongoing accusation that I am a racist and an elitist. Although the commissioner may think his nickname of me as the mayor of Foray Park is just another one of his derogatory names he uses against tax-paying residents who disagree with him, I take it as a compliment. Thank you. And believe it gives me even more credibility to urge you to vote yes on FR2. This commission must take control of the Bayfront Park Management Trust from Joe Carollo. Let me give you just one example. I think you would all agree that every park, large or small, has one amenity in common, a children's playground, except Foray Park. Commissioner Carollo, under his dictatorship as chairman of the trust for the last almost 7 years, has thought it was more important to construct an $896,000 no-bid dog and park sculpture garden, not one, but 2 dog parks, who he proudly claims are the state's largest dog parks, occupying almost 15% of the green space, a $285,000 gym constructed illegally, and I just discovered he has ordered not 1, but 2 giant flower clocks to be installed at Foray Park and Bayfront Parks with a total cost of almost $1 million.
Thank you.
All done without community input and without any regard to the approved Parks Master Plan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairwoman, I know what you said.
Oh, here we go.
No.
Commissioner Reyes,
I'm not here.
Can we
Chairwoman,
talk about it when
I am
the
not
item
here to be a punching bag.
Sir, you've had your time. Please sit down.
But you're allowing him to
please
talk.
sit down. Do not engage with us. Thank you so much for your advocacy.
I guess they don't
Thank
listen
you
to
for
you.
your
Thank
advocacy. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, what I'd like to establish, what are our guidelines? Are we supposed to be a punching bag to get anybody to come and lie about us, to make insults, to make some of the biggest false statements, and we can't answer? Most of the people out there don't know the other side to it, don't know that what this man has been saying are outright lies, and he is sick right now because he lost an election 80%. And this man goes out there every day trying to bother our employees, trying to see what he could find to attack a trust. This trust has 9 members. I'm only one of 9, but I'm the one that keeps being mentioned.
No, sir, please do not. Commissioner, there's an item that we are going to address, and I believe that you can bring all of your concerns and issues.
But what is happening too is that by the time that this goes along, for instance, let me tell you what's going on here. This guy with Commissioner Pardo and a handful of them, they've been conspiring. I have the proof right here. They have these Zoom meetings where they talk how they're going to plan to get a group to try to see how they can intimidate and manipulate the rest of us in stuff like this.
The only thing I do want to hear your concerns. I want to hear all of our comments. I just would like to get through the public comment portion of our meeting without all of us responding to.
That's
and
fine.
there are going to be people.
Chair, then you need to control the personal attacks more so we don't have to respond. I could bring here hundreds of people if need be to attack him over there with the sly smile that he has, not just a handful of people. I don't do that. I do not do that. Now, you decide. Do you want me to start bringing in people here the same way he gets a handful? I won't get a handful. I'll get hundreds of people in here. Or do you want to control the meetings like the county does, like we used to do here, where elected officials are not attacked? If you want to open it up so we could be attacked falsely, then let us respond at the time that we are attacked.
I heard you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning.
I'll reserve the comments.
Good morning, everyone. I first want to thank our Commissioner Gavela for being our champion. Dear City of Miami Commissioners, I stand before you today, and this is very personal to me, to ask you to support Alapata. When I arrived in Miami in 1998, I knew the community was a jewel. A few decades later, many are seeing what I have seen, a family-knit immigrant community with lots of commerce and untapped cultural appeal and the burning entrepreneurial spirit to contribute to the tapestry of this country by achieving their American dream. Alapata has been overlooked and disinvested for far too long. The community is in dire need of infrastructure improvements, public gathering spaces, community amenities. Our Little Santo Domingo commercial corridor, as well as other commercial corridors, can benefit from improved internet connectivity, wider sidewalks, traffic calming measures, green canopy, bioswales. None of that can happen without a deep investment that a CRA can bring. Alapata is home to the health district, an amazing opportunity for continued growth and to mitigate the perpetuating issues of those experiencing homelessness. Alapata is one of the few areas in the city of Miami that has residential, commercial, and industrial zoning, all which contributes to the tax base of the city. Alapata deserves to see their tax-based contribution in the improvement of the built environment and the prosperity of their residents and small businesses. Our community deserves planned growth that includes anti-displacement measures that keep those who have built Alapata in Alapata. Alapata has many senior buildings that need a lot more than just food and shelter. They need walkable community that is safe and mitigates the effect of climate change, such as flooding and the heat island effect. Our youth need programming and facilities to meet the challenges of their generation and the next workforce. We ask you to support Alapata. Please improve the funding of necessities to include Alapata Community Master Plan with specific projects, ensuring it all is informed as an intense community engagement process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chair. Ma'am, may I have you?
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Could you give your name for the record?
Mileika Burgos Flores. I am the CEO of the Alapata Collaborative CDC, 1951 Northwest 7th Avenue.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name
You
is
can pull the mic down. You don't have to.
Oh, yeah. There we go. My name is Claudia Roussel, 10 Museum Park. I am a board member. Dear Commissioners, I'm here once more to present to you a petition titled Remove Joe Carollo from the Bayfront Park Management Trust. The petition results was given to you the first time on June 18th of this year. Let me give you some stats. Altogether, 1,078 signatures. True Miami residents, 679, which means 65%. And the rest were non-Miami, but I saw a lot of addresses, Key Biscayne, Hialeah, which we call neighbors, basically. Please consider those 679 Miami residents when considering FR2. How much longer will Maurice Ferry Park and Bayfront Park will be held hostage to one commissioner and his feckless and powerless board? This situation truly falls under the known expression, only in Miami. Be assured, nothing to be proud of when you hear this. I urge Commissioners Reyes, Pardo, King, and Cabela to attend only one time a trust meeting. Joe Carollo chairs, and you will understand why the downtown residents are so upset. It's high time to remove Joe Carollo and take the many millions of dollars he spends without any oversight out of his hands and into the hands of all 5 commissioners and 2 dedicated residents of District 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Ruth Jauregui, speaking in favor of Resolution 16508. Dear commissioners and neighbors of City of Miami, have you ever seen someone cry because you gave them food? And I don't mean in a third world country, I mean here in Miami. I have, and us in Navy and Red also have. When I was just 1 year old, my Cuban grandfather and parents started a food distribution program on the church property where we lived, located in Alapata. Abuelo taught me that we are all the same, created by God, and deserve decent housing and 3 healthy meals a day. He also taught me, el que no vive para servir, no sirve para vivir. Translation, if you don't live to serve, you serve no purpose in living. Week after week, for 29 years, we have served Miami's most vulnerable without discriminating their nationality, religion, sexual orientation, economic, social, or immigration status. What began feeding only a few dozen now feeds around 1,200 low-income families every week. Many that originally came for food now volunteer and have helped build this city's largest free food distribution agency. The problem, we have maxed out. We don't have space or condition on our humble property. Rain or shine, everything is prepared and left outside, with much food wasted due to the lack of proper refrigeration and storage. I don't ask for money, for food, or volunteers. We're honored to do the hard work and make thousands of boxes every week. Today, I ask you to make one box with 4 walls and a roof that has been abandoned for 44 years. With your support, this abandoned property can benefit all 5 Miami districts. The community will forever thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman King and Commissioners. My name is Jezebel Lima, address 100 Southeast 2nd Street, 36th floor. I'm here on behalf of my client, 650 First LLC, and this matter has to do with a mitigation of a lien. This is for item 16390.
Ma'am, you will have an opportunity to speak when that item comes up.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
Was advised I had to speak.
No, when the item comes up,
Okay,
we'll
thank
hear
you
from
so much. I appreciate
Thank you.
your time.
Good morning.
Hey, great rising kings and queens. My name is Brother Ija McGrady. I'm the CEO of Encouraging Dreamers Breaking Barriers. It's a Second Chance Youth Escape program. So I'm here representing all the troubled youth. I'm also wanting to be here to speak on RE12, the extension of the Omni CRA. I want to thank the Omni CRA for getting behind the Encouraging Dreamers Breaking Barriers. It has been an honor. I know we've came up here numerous of times and we asked the commission and the city of manager, we got the mayor behind us supporting us, but we would love for the city commission as a whole to get behind the Encouraging Dreamers Breaking Barriers. It's a win-win situation for both of us where we would help to empower our youth, paying them $15 an hour to wash cars. And the win for the city is we get to get you up to your procurement goals. I know no one has been detailing your cars, and all we want is an opportunity to continue to empower our kids, not by begging, not by crime, but in being creative, creating opportunities. Also in the Omni CRA, we have been able to empower some kids at the Chapman partnership, and we just look to continue to expand ourselves and continue to ask that we get the city of Miami to get behind us. You can also piggyback off our contract that we have with the Miami-Dade County fleet vehicles. So with that being said, we thank forward to partnering and working with the city of Miami. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman King. My name is Amanda DeSeta. Good morning, Commissioners. My address is 68 Southeast 6th Street, apartment 3303, Miami, Florida, 33131. I am here today to ask for your unanimous support for DFI Monday Affordable Housing, which will deliver 8 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom units to the west end of Coconut Grove for families to have a better life. The project contemplates an 80% blended AMI. Interestingly, on 3173 Mundy Street, there is a Coral Rock house. Rather than tear down a 1926 Coral Rock house, the project contemplates adaptively reusing the Coral Rock house as a lobby for the 4 units which will be built behind it and will match the roof line. I'm excited to be able to deliver a project like this that can prove that historic assets can be repurposed for affordable housing. On 3121 Mundy, which is a vacant lot, We will match the same architecture so that we are preserving the character of the West Grove while also delivering affordable housing. I do hope and urge you for your unanimous support. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, honorable commissioners. My name is Kenneth Gordon. I reside in Venetian Drive in the city of Miami. I'm going to be short and sweet and cut my remarks way down. Omni CRA. I've been a resident of downtown Miami for over 30 years. I have seen firsthand the changes in Omni and the surrounding area. Biscayne Boulevard was something you would never even travel on after dark. Now it is thriving with restaurants. Edgewater is incredible, 35, 40 new high-rises along the waterfront between 36th Street and Omni itself. What a change. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pensions, regarding city commissioner pensions. You know, we honored a lot of fire people and police this morning, and they've done a great job. Unfortunately, I've had to use the services of both police and fire rescue in this town. They do a phenomenal job. The millions of dollars that this pension fund will draw from the city of Miami could better be spent with police and fire rather than on yourselves, unfortunately. If we can put a gym to a city vote, maybe we should do this with the pensions. And speaking of gym equipment, we firmly support the Bayfront Park Trust. And I do represent the Venetian Way Neighborhood Alliance. We firmly support, and I stress, this is a community park, not a regional park. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here. I'm here to speak in favor of the Omni CRA extension. I have the privilege of working with the Omni CRA in the past, and as an entrepreneur and a business owner in the local Miami Omni District, I cannot tell you how much of a bridge of support they have been. Not only around affordable housing, around the support of the business owners that's in the area. Honestly, I don't even think it's a question around the extension of the Omni CRA. They have been a huge support for local business owners in the area, including myself. As a gentleman who has had experience in finance and wealth management, I've had an illustrious career in all of those areas, and as a business owner, the support has been great. So I just want to say thank you to the Omni CRA, and just overall, I hope you all can see the support that they have done in the city and hopefully extend it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, sir, if I could just have your name for the record.
Will DeTilma.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Adrian Fuentes, and I am here to speak in favor of the expansion of the CRA, resolution number 16168. I believe that it is essential for our community's growth and success. Our small businesses and entrepreneurs are facing significant challenges without the support they need. They struggle to secure funding and keep their businesses running, and launch new ventures due to a lack of resources and mentorship. This only forces them to give up and leave their area entirely. Expanding the CRA is not just about adding recreational facilities. It is about creating targeted programs that directly support small businesses and entrepreneurs for our Alapata. These programs could offer financial assistance, guidance, and network opportunities that are essential for their growth. By investing in this expansion, we are investing in our people and in their local economy. We will be fostering innovation and ensuring that our community has the resources it needs to thrive. Let's seize the opportunity to revitalize Alapata, support our local dreamers, and build a stronger and more vibrant community where every business has the chance to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chairwoman, Commissioners. My name is Andres Preciado, and I live in 2197 Northwest 18th Terrace, Miami, Florida 33125. I reside there with my wife and 3 children. It's in La Para area. I am the treasurer of Miami Bethany Community Services. I'm come before you to ask you for your vote in favor to Resolution 16508. From my position as responsible for our organization budgets, I testify that we do not receive help for any federal, state, county, or municipal agent to carry out our community mission. We are a grassroots organization. The volunteers that you are meeting today are incredible. The devotion which they are serve low-income families throughout Miami is worthy of recognition by authorities. But they enjoy being anonymous agents of positive change in our residents. They not only donate their time, but also their money. Everything we invest in our neighbors, we pay for ourselves. However, we are not here to ask for financial or human resources. What we need is a large place to grow and serve more families. I want to express my gratitude to Commissioner Miguel Angel Gavela for his initiative and to all of you for being part of this solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Kathleen Camilo, and I strongly support the expansion of the CRA Resolution 16168. I am deeply worried about the residents of Alapara because, in case you haven't noticed, our streets and neighborhoods are in terrible condition. It's taking a toll on our daily lives. The crumbling sidewalks and neglected public spaces make us feel like our community is being overlooked. Expanding the CRA into Alapara will be a much-needed boost for us as residents, as also for you as the face of our city. It's not just about adding new facilities, it's about showing the rest of the nations that we matter, and that we have a better place to live, a place where we feel valued and supported. Let's take this important step to improve our neighborhood and boost our community's morale. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eduardo Navarro, and I am very honored to serve and volunteer for Miami Bethany Community Services. Today, I will speak in favor of Resolution 16508. I have been a resident of Alapata since I was a child. I have experienced firsthand the shortcoming of a low-income immigrant family where if the rent is paid, there is no money to buy food. Since I met Miami Bethany, I have found food, work, a wife, and above all, hope. Now I want to share this hope with my neighbors, and I am willing to spend long hours of my weekend under the sun and rain in very precarious conditions. I think it is worth it. Thousands of boxes of food have passed through my hands and before my eyes. I have seen people from all over Miami both crying and laughing. It is gratifying to be part of the solution and not the problem. But at the same time, it is a shame that the city of Miami has abandoned property for so many years when we, who are distributing free food, do not have a decent place to store and prepare it. Please, on behalf of Miami's low-income families, I ask for your support and vote for Resolution 16508. Together, we can make a change in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Francisco Soriano, and I'm here from District 1. And I want to congratulate our new commissioner, Mr. Gavela, that he has tried to improve or getting life better in the District 1. Now, we still have the place getting flooded and teenagers that don't have a place to stay, homeless people, which seems to me that every district from the Dade County has been dumped over the Alapata area, which is very bad for us. We need your attention, and we need you to help us to improve. You get together and make life better in Alapata. Thank you very much.
Thank
God
you.
bless you all.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Emily Aldana, and I have come to ask for your vote in favor of Resolution 16508. I am a dreamer, a nurse, a wife, and a mother. I also have the honor of being the Secretary of Miami Bethany Community Services, which interviews the food program beneficiaries every week and listens to their families' moving stories. Our database has recorded more than 7,500 households. We serve regularly from the end of the pandemic to today. 89% of them live below the poverty level, and more than 50% of them do not receive any government help for different reasons. The housing crisis is the most worrying factor, and inflation in the cost of food makes it even more complicated. On the other hand, the food supply we deliver to them each week ranges about $120 to $150, which helps cover the income deficit. I am honored to inform you that we are an oasis in the desert, but saddened to recognize that our workplace is very limited. We have plenty of food and our volunteers are growing every day. With the property we are asking for, we could potentially serve 5,000 families in the first week alone. Instead, that's a significant increase from the current capacity of 1,200. Please consider our organization the best resource in this great city to alleviate the food shortages in regular times and in emergencies such as hurricanes or pandemics. We need that property to be the community arm that the 5 districts of this city can count on. I am deeply grateful for your consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Matthew Kusher, 2003 North Miami Avenue. I just want to talk on behalf of the Omni CRA. It's an amazing organization that's helped in so many ways. I've seen it firsthand, just in creating affordable housing, cleaning up the neighborhood, being with the residents, and fixing up dilapidated buildings in the community. And without its support, small businesses like myself would not be able to create the jobs for, in my situation, hospitality workers and housing for them. Without the support, I would have to demolish a building that I'm proud to say is now set to have affordable housing going there for restaurant workers and basically rehab the dilapidated building. I'm very, very thankful for the Omni CRA. I fully support their extension, and I thank you, everybody here, for being and doing great jobs in the community and the city. So thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Selena Shea, and I want to speak in favor of the expansion of the CRA for Alabama Resolution 16168. Although I don't live in Alabama myself, my mother lived there for many years, which gave me a first-hand look at the challenges faced by many hardworking people. I've seen small businesses owners struggling to keep their family businesses afloat due to the lack of support in the city. Likewise, many entrepreneurs have tried to start ventures in our neighborhood, but haven't found the necessary backing to make their dreams a reality. Today, we have a chance to address these issues by approving the expansion of the CRA. Instead of pushing away current and future entrepreneurs, we can show them that we are ready to offer support and create opportunities to success in Alabama. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Elaine Black from the Liberty City Trust, and on behalf of our board members that are here today, we would like to thank you for resolution number 8, approving dollars for our youth program that ended in August of 2024. And this is our budget that closes out for September 2024. So thank you. We look forward to continuing to work with us. It makes a tremendous difference in the quality of life of our residents and especially our young people. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Milagros Ben, and as a resident of Alapara, I'm deeply passionate about supporting the expansion of the CRA resolution number 16168. The skyrocketing rental prices are the severe lack of affordable housing have placed in a heavy burden on many of us. Every day, we deal with the stress of making ends meet, and please don't forget that the great majority of us are living paycheck to paycheck. Approving the CRA expansion is more than just adding another facility. It's about giving us the low and middle class of this neighborhood a much-needed refuge. With affordable housing becoming harder to find, we need spaces where we can loosen up and connect without added pressure. The expansion and approval of the CRA would become a symbol of hope that shows we are valued and supported by you, our representative. During this tough time, this is an investment in the happiness, unity, and the future of the Alapara community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys doing? My name is Ellis Statham, president of Grove Ice for Life. And first of all, I want to thank Commissioner Damian Pardo for coming to our function last Friday and speaking. Thank you so much, sir. I'm here in support of RE 12 for the extension of the life of the Omni CRA. My support is directly tied to the original Omni CRA expansion area requested by West Grove. In District 2, under Commissioner Damian Pardo, after being told in 2019 that an expansion of the boundaries of the Omni CRA was not feasible we pursued the creation of a new West Coast Community Redevelopment Agency, CRA, according to the Miami Commissioner Resolution R200131. The City Commission voted unanimously to approve the creation of the new CRA within the West Grove, April 2020. But that was never finalized once submitted to the county. Now that the expansion discussions are in play again for the area that would benefit from the expansion as well as the extension of the life of the Omni CRA, I respectfully request that West Grove be placed back into the discussion for reconsideration. Priority projects continue to be reviving the life of the once vibrant community as called West Grove or Little Bahamas. Now, small business opportunities, job creation, rehabilitation throughout the area, specifically on Grand Avenue and Douglas Road, just tearing down the old Tiki Club and redeveloping that area. We want to see that continue, add jobs to the community, and bring more development and jobs to our area. Thank you, Damien, and thank you for the commissioners. I appreciate your help and support. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Lynette Sanchez. I want to emphasize how crucial it is to expand the CRA in Alapata. Resolution number 16168. Our city's severe homelessness problem not only harms those affected, but also makes us look bad compared to other cities. It can even make our city officials seem uncaring, though I know that's not true. The reality is that seeing so many people struggling without homes reflect poorly on us and shows that we need to do more. Expanding the CRA is a good start, but we also need to create and fund programs to help the homeless. While some agencies are already providing assistance, it's not enough. We need more than just shelter and essential services. We need funding to help people get back on their feet. This is about more than just building facilities. It's about showing we care, taking real action, and making Alapata a place where everyone has a chance to succeed. Let's come together to address this crisis, improve our community, and make our city proud. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Eileen Celio. Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Chairwoman. I am a longtime stakeholder of Alapata, a real estate broker, and also the founder of Neighbors of Melrose Park Neighborhood Association. I'm here advocating for the expansion of the Omni CRA to include Alapata's vibrant neighborhood, which my family have called home for 17 years. During those 17 years, I realized the increased necessity for community resources to improve the image and the safety of our neighborhood. Our parks needed major attention, which is the main reason why I founded Neighbors of Melrose Park. In the end, we finally got a new park, which included a walking path, and today the park is enjoyed by everyone in the community. Alapata is next in line to shine, to have a downtown, to maybe reconstruct Northwest 20th Street. That area is pretty dead after 6 p.m. There's no reason why we shouldn't have the same amenities and the same services available to us that the rest of the cities have. We need big box retail. We need to have a Costco or a BJ's where families that need to buy things in bulk don't have to depend on small shops, which really don't serve the community. We finally did receive, after many, many years, a Publix in the River Landing Community Center, and this has been a huge game changer for everyone. We're a beautiful river community, and I believe by expanding the funds of the Omni CRA, this will help to provide to our community the additional resources that are desperately needed. I'd like to thank Commissioner Gavela for his boots on the ground and for the noticeable sweat equity that he is putting into our community. It has not gone unnoticed, and on behalf of all of us, thank you very much for everything that you're doing. I believe the Omni CRA receiving enough funding to be shared with Alapata, it just has to be managed properly. And I honestly believe that Commissioner Gavela would be the right person to manage that properly. Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Pardo, Cabela, King, Carollo, and Reyes. My name is Reynold Martin. I'm with Grove Rights and Community Equity. I'm here to address the discussion on the expansion of Omni Community Redevelopment Agency into the Alapata neighborhood, situated in Commissioner Gabela's district. A few years ago, cries were heard from the citizens and business owners of Coconut Grove's Village West community to establish a CRA in order to revitalize and redevelop the residential economic infrastructure in the decaying neighborhood. The Omni CRA was expanded by a vote from the Commission to address this concern. However, little was done on that front and the valuable time was lost in the process. Then plans were in the works for the creation of a standalone West Grove CRA under the tutelage of then Commissioner Ken Russell, in which a resolution for its creation was resoundingly approved by this commission. What was to follow was a ratifying vote by the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners, and that is where the project has stalled. The question is, if funding is available for Allapattah to create its own CRA, and while Allapattah abuts another district with a thriving CRA that could be receptive to an expansion effort, why would the Omni CRA spend time and resources on this proposal while the needs of West Coconut Grove, which is in the Omni CRA's district, are still unmet? Let me be clear in stating that the motive is not to deny Allapattah any opportunity of much needed improvement, but for the city to address these old communities that need its help to provide the support to those communities in all forms possible, necessary for their sustainability and survival. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Raquel Varas, and I also support Resolution 16508. As someone who was born and raised in Allapattah, I've seen the real and the raw of our community. And I've also seen the least privileged give the absolute most. The biggest example of hardworking generosity in my life and also in our community was my abuelo. As my sisters have mentioned, for the first 20 years of my life and up to his last day, I witnessed him prepare food boxes to give to everyone who came our way, handicapped and drenched in sweat, but he always had a smile on his face. He started all of this with no warehouse, no truck, no walk-in coolers, and just 3 volunteers with tiny helping hands. But he always found something to share with the neediest people in our community every single week. Over the years, my 2 sisters, my parents, and I, along with a growing group of volunteers, helped Abuelo load tons of trucks to send to other churches and community centers because we had too much food and didn't want it to go to waste. Today, his legacy lives on through those same people he once served. I've been so blessed to witness thousands of low-income families come empty-handed and leave with their arms full of quality food. We've never asked anyone whether or not they're from our district. If they show up, they receive food. I know that with a larger and more equipped property like the food bank, Miami Bethany Community Services could exceed its goal of serving 5,000 low-income families from across the city of Miami year-round. It would truly be our lifelong dream come true. And all glory be to God. Thank you so much.
Thank you. One second, I need to make an announcement. When you are addressing the commission, please address the commission and not any of us individually. Do not make disparaging comments about any one of us individually. If you do, I will have you removed. You may make your comments to the commission as a whole. And this addresses the comments that were made earlier. I have spoken to my counterpart in the county commission, and I see someone in line who has attacked 2 commissioners on this dais. So I'm just trying to avoid that. If you make disparaging comments about any one of us, I will have you removed from chambers. You may address us, the commission, in totality, but please keep your comments to the commission. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Nicole Desiderio, 900 Biscayne Bay. I'm speaking on PZ1 and PZ2 regarding the outdoor gym at Foray Park. You are elected officials. We voted you into these positions to make the majority of decisions for us. And that is because you are more informed than the average citizen. You heard all the details of this appeal in full. You heard how there was no public input. You heard how the permitting was not done correctly. You agreed that no commissioner should be able to go and just pour concrete in a park wherever they want. A certain commissioner said they could have 100 people come down here, but no one came down here to speak to keep that gym in place. You would be undermining your power as a commissioner that makes informed decisions for us if you change your votes on the outdoor gym at Foray Park. Regarding FR2 and DI3, I support Commissioner Pardo's item to restructure the Bayfront Park Management Trust. I've been to these trust meetings, and quite frankly, it's a joke. There's no discussion on any item, and anything that the chairman suggests for the park always passes, as with the current structure of this trust, he will always have 5 out of the 9 votes needed. He refuses to use the park's specific master plan that was created by professional park planners that our tax dollars paid for. Commissioner Pardo's restructuring makes what goes on at the trust more fair across the board, with everyone being represented. If you do not support the restructuring of the trust, then I ask that you support Commissioner Gabella's item to remove the current chair from the Bayfront Park Management Trust. And I just want to say also that regarding some allegations made earlier about some of us coming down here to speak on these items, I've been coming here since November of last year. Before I even knew who Commissioner Pardo was, I've been emailing the Bayfront Park Management Trust with my concerns about the park since 2021. I did not know any of these other public commenters prior to coming down here, and my opinions are my own and have not been affected by anyone else.
Thank you.
Can I just straighten the record? I am not the maker of what she just stated.
Okay.
I just want to clear that. Okay?
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know who is, but there is no item. I don't know what she's talking about.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jonathan Newberg. I'm here on behalf of Crescent Heights, and I'm in support of RE12, which is, as you know, the CRA extension. As a large landowner in the area, the extension is critical to support our ability to redevelop our land, to actually develop the land which is currently used for surface parking. As everybody knows, and as you've seen in the articles, across the media, the city of Miami needs additional supply of housing. There is no argument about that. Pricing is high because supply is constrained. We know that that is a fact. The CRA will jumpstart the redevelopment of these areas, which is what is needed. And I can just give you one example of a deal that didn't transpire. A deal was signed with the school board, the land just west of the Arts Center. We had a deal signed up. The CRA was supposed to be extended. This is a few years ago, where we would have had to build this building. We would have built the school board brand new, 100,000 square foot offices, almost 2,000 parking spaces. And because of the inability to extend the CRA, deals like that aren't happening. And so I think the point here is, I can't stress enough that a delay here is not helpful if we want to redevelop the area. We need to pass the extension, because the extension will activate these types of large projects, these infrastructure projects. Not only does it provide parking for the Arts Center, brand new school board, offices, additional housing, you activate the entire block. So you activate the commercial space, you have restaurants, commercial space, and this all ties in with the underline. So this sits right north of where this large park is going to be. And so it's projects like this that hinge on the CRA extension.
Thank
so
you.
That being said, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Miriam Ura. I work in the Alapata area, and I also am a resident in the community for many, many, many years. I'm here today to support the expansion of the Ogni CRA into our community because practically for many years we are being in need of housing for the low-income families in the area. We have a lot of elderly population there. There are practically very low-income people that they cannot meet their needs because of the situation that we have with the economic crisis that we are facing now. And I ask this commission to support this issue because we practically are in a situation where our citizens, our residents in that area cannot survive any longer if we don't create affordable housing for them. They cannot pay the rent. The rent are being increased because the crisis that we have right now, we need your support, all the support of this commission, so we can help these elderly residents. And when I say elderly, it's because we have a program that practically, provide meals and support for them. And they're calling and coming into the center asking for help because they're cutting their electricity, because they don't have enough money to eat, that they cannot pay the rent. So we are very concerned.
Thank you.
We are very concerned with what's going on and what's going to happen in the near future.
Thank you.
We're going to have, can
Thank
you give
you.
me a second more?
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Dr. Paul Malavenda. My address is 2490 Northwest 35th Street. I speak on behalf of 16508. We've been a silent partner for the City of Miami since many years, since 1987. We've been helping the needy and the homeless in the City of Miami, including the area of Alapata, myself with free chiropractic care and free food. Today, I work with Miami Bethany Community Services, and it's hard to say if things are any better or if they're going to get any better. One thing for sure, I would say that the hunger, the homelessness, and the crime has multiplied. Miami Bethany Community Services is feeding approximately 1,200 families a week. We have the ability to feed more families, but we're lacking a physical building that provides the condition to do that. So we, as a silent partner, we're asking the city to help us because we would like to expand what we're doing. We don't charge, we don't burden the city. And I come in front of you, as many have today, asking you to approve 16508, which is a donation of this abandoned property for, I believe, 44 years, to Miami Bethany Community Services, which is ready to step up its ability to not just feed, but house and do a lot of community services that are needed, not just in the city of Miami, but in this area of Alapata. I know that today, whatever your decision is, we will continue to do that. But I know that today, you will approve it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is James Torres, as President of the Downtown Neighbors Alliance. I'm here to set the record straight as it relates to the Marie Ferrer Park situation. We're not going to stand here and point fingers as it relates to what commissioner was absent when votes happened and things of that nature. The important thing is here, you must be present. If you're not going to be present after we voted you in...
Sir,
I'm clearing this up.
I have already
okay,
given
so I'm going to
a
redirect.
warning.
I'll redirect. The issue here is you must be present because we would not be in this situation if there was a full body here today. And who's being the victims here is the downtown community because we're being used as pawns. It's time for this commission to do the right thing and put the record straight on this gym equipment. It's beyond us that we're back here revisiting the same thing again because you have two commissioners that can't seem to figure it out. And who pays the price as pawns? We do, the community. And that's not fair, Commissioner. So at the end of the day, we're asking you very clearly, please do your job, be present, help us out. You want to schedule vacation, go sometime when you're able to. Because we would not be, again, I'm redirecting, I apologize. So at the end of the day, let's not rewrite history on this. Let's do the right thing for the community. And the thing is, let's figure this out. Do the right thing on these votes. To finish that, I also will stand here and tell you that I express my full support for the expansion of the Omni CRA because it's warranted and it's needed to make a better community, not just for certain parts of the city. This is a community issue, a city issue, because I don't want to be looked at as a laughingstock on the poor pieces that we have in our entire city, because we have a clear objective in this. Our tax dollars are paying for this, and we need to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Carolyn Donaldson, 3680 Thomas Avenue, and an advocate, all things Coconut Grove. I'm here today in support of the life expansion of the Omni CRA. The reason that I'm here is on behalf of Coconut Grove. We were one of those original areas slated and requesting an expansion of the boundaries to include Coconut Grove. One of the reasons that we were told was that the life extension on the CRA was too short. So therefore, we were advised to create a Grove CRA. Now, this commission did approve a Grove CRA, and somewhere along the lines when it was submitted to the county, we don't even know if it was disallowed because we received no feedback on the status of it. And so while I see a suggestion has been made to Allapattah, we've been down that road and did not hear anything back from the county. So I don't know if there's another avenue or the fact that the expansion of the date will allow us to apply and be considered just at the city level. That would be something I would be requesting. But I'm here to ask on behalf of the Coconut Grove community and any community with an opportunity to take advantage of funding that has been done via a CRA that will benefit all of our communities. All of us have housing issues. All of us have homelessness issues. That's my signal. Good day, and thank you for hearing me.
Thank you for your advocacy. Good morning.
Good morning. Aubrey Jane, 720 Northeast 69th Street, Miami. I'm here to support the extension of life for the Omni CRA. Extension of life, just those words alone, I think, say a lot. I have worked with this commission and with Omni CRA on affordable housing in Omni successfully. There's more work to be done there. I think that the Grove, I think Allapattah, I think the issues on housing and homelessness and food is an issue for many communities. I've seen these commissioners individually do a lot for their own residents, and I commend everybody for this initiative. But I think you all as a community, look at with everybody here, there's another path, and I do think it is their own CRA. And if there's an opportunity for an expansion, let that be addressed in a different way. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. My name is Alexander Pegues, and I'm here for RE12. Address is 1320 South Dixie Highway. And so I'm a current student at the University of Miami. And I studied real estate development and urbanism. And over the past year, I've really been able to live, to work, and to really be able to study a lot of these communities around, specifically Allapattah and Overtown, and also for Wynwood. And so a lot of the research I've done is really trying to figure out for these different programs for urban regeneration, how to enhance this synergy between economic vitality and neighborhood identity. So how do we really kind of figure out what are some of these tools we can use, like the CRA, in order to help increase the quality of life, right? And so the increasing this quality of life to me is really that of trying to figure out how do we increase that walkability, increase the climate cooling of these neighborhoods, and really trying to preserve the in-place community that's already there. So how are we doing that while also figuring out increasing the value per acre so that folks are being able to see their property's value grow while also being able to see this tourist revenue grow as Miami has done for many years to come. So I'm really here to urge and to push that the CRA really comes to fruition for that of the Allapattah area, because I think a lot of these funds, based on the research that I've done and based on my studies at the university, could really be utilized in this area for some good. So thank you for the time and looking forward to it.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is David Palmeiro, and I reside in 221 Northwest 32nd Street. And I'm here to speak in favor of Resolution 16508. I grew up in the Alapata neighborhood along with my single handicapped father and my younger brother. For a long time, my father brought food from Miami Bethany Community Services to complete our basic basket each week. I want you to know that it is a supply of meat, chicken, eggs, milk, cheese, vegetables, and cereals, enough to feed a small family for a week. Now I'm a part of the army of volunteers who feed thousands of low-income families throughout the city of Miami. It amazes me to see how people come on foot, motorcycles, or several of them in the same vehicles to receive the food that our agency provides them. Rain or shine, they are there, waiting as long as necessary to receive their portion. This shows me the great need that they have. In my case, after improving my economic situation, I wouldn't spend so much time for a box to be prepared for me, but they do. I'm convinced that it is worth the effort, despite the limited conditions we have on our small property. Dear Commissioners, I request that you vote to grant our organization permission to use the property at 850 Northwest 23rd Street as a food bank to serve our residents who need it the most. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Madam Chairwoman, Mr. Vice Chairman, Commissioners, my name is Mark Burton. I represent several individuals who are engaged in a dispute over the gym equipment at the park presently, but I'm here to speak on item PZ1 and I guess to the extent it's related, item PZ2. This commission, back in May, on May 23rd, held a quasi-judicial hearing in which it rejected an appeal brought by the city and the Bayfront Park Management Trust from a decision of the PZAB. And this commission rejected that appeal. At that moment, or 30 days later, when the time for appeal had lapsed, that decision became final. It was a quasi-judicial decision not subject to reopening. Florida case law, including the Florida Supreme Court case of Mills against Laris Painting Company and several other decisions that we have cited in a letter that we submitted to the city attorney's office earlier this week for distribution to the commission members, details these legal authorities showing that once the time for appeal had lapsed, this commission lost jurisdiction to reconsider its final quasi-judicial ruling. I understand there may be instances where it's different legislatively. That's not the realm that this particular issue is in. And I would caution this commission against opening that door in abrogation of jurisdiction because there's no principled reason why it wouldn't equally apply to any other previous quasi-judicial decision going back in time, potentially years. I also note that here the applicant on the item before this commission is the planning department, which is of course, the department that issued the original warrant that was later reversed by the PZAB and later affirmed by this body. There's no standing to do that any more than there would be standing for a judge of the circuit court to appeal the District Court of Appeals reversal of that judge to the Florida Supreme Court. The planning department is a body in the quasi-judicial process.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would request permission to
Thank
hand
you.
this to the city attorney for distribution.
To the city clerk,
Excuse me, to the city clerk.
City
Thank
clerk, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Jonas Castro, and I live in 1911 Northwest 51st Terrace. Dear Commissioners and city officials, since arriving in this country, my mother, my sister, and I have gone through different stages, from the most difficult to the most economic support that we enjoy today. In times of true need, Miami Bethany Community Services was an effective resource to stretch a limited budget. First, we receive food every week, and now the three of us volunteer time and energy to share with our neighbors what this agency did for us. Regrettably, our agency is constrained by space and working conditions. Every week, we are forced to discard entire pallets of good food because we lack the necessary refrigeration space. Despite receiving a substantial amount of quality food, our ability to distribute it is severely limited, which is a significant loss and a situation that urgently needs to be addressed. I am aware that I'm addressing individuals who have dedicated themselves to serving and have sworn to ensure the well-being of everyone in this city. I am confident that you will see the value in our proposal and grant us permission to use an abandoned city property to establish a food bank for low-income families. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Pedro Aquino. I'm here to speak in favor of Resolution 16508. I'm a small business owner, a husband, a father, and I'm honored to have grown up in Alapata. In recent years, I have become the director of Miami Bethany Community Service Food Distribution Program. I also serve on the board of Feeding South Florida, an arm of Feeding America. Our program has been recognized for its excellent and volunteer work and tremendously reach that it has occurred. In our last year, we was awarded a refrigerated truck for the best agency in Miami-Dade County. In December of 2019, President Donald Trump recognized our agency at the White House for the leadership in social services. During the pandemic, we distributed thousands of tons of food boxes. I still wonder and amaze of the flow of trucks and vehicles each week in our limited space. Today, I thank God because we're prepared with the supply and the human resources to serve our direct beneficiaries, but not only that, but the dozens of churches and community agencies. But now there's a limitation that we face, is the space. We need a bigger facility to impact the community. Dear Commissioner, I humbly stand here before you today, asking you for your support in the granting of the property at 850 Northwest 23rd Street as a platform to make everything available in our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Armani Alcantara. I live in 1132 Northwest 33rd Street. I am here in representation of the youth. Thank you. Good morning. My name is Armani Alcantara. I live on 1132 Northwest 33rd Street. I am here in representation of the youth of Alapata. I strongly support the expansion of the CRA resolution number 16168 because I believe it will make a significant difference for me and other kids in Alapata. Just to give you an idea of what I am favor right now, finding a safe and suitable place to play basketball and stay active near my home is a real challenge. The closest option to me is Curtis Park. It's often crowded and doesn't always meet our needs. If the CRA expansion is approved, it will create more dedicated, safe spaces for us to practice, have fun, and simply be ourselves without the constant worry of our safety. This isn't just about playing a game. It's about having a place where we can grow, build friendships, and truly feel like we belong in our community, which is Alapata. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your advocacy. Good morning.
Steve Smith, 900 Biscayne Boulevard. I am a party to agenda item PZ1 and PZ2 as the named appellant, and I object to the entire proceeding related to PZ1. It violates commission rules, as the attorney has suggested. It substantially violates my rights as an appellant and, more importantly, the prevailing party. Does a rehearing mean we can revisit Melreese Park and the stadium deal? Anything that came before this body? If this commission ignores our lawsuit contest to the legitimacy of PZ1, I would like to ask Madam Chairwoman to grant me, at the very least, equal time to present against PZ2. If not granted this right, I think it further subjects as a violation to my due process. As for PZ2, it is beyond frustrating that this administration has decided to fight its citizens rather than simply acknowledge the unlawful construction of this park amenity determined by this very body and the PZAB board. You should rather be spending your time talking about the Omni CRA and much more important things that impact our community. Lastly, as a board member to the Bayfront Park Management Trust, I'm completely supportive of Commissioner Pardo's agenda item to reorganize the incredibly well-funded Park Management Trust. Simply only being on this board for a few months, it is clear to me that I, nor our chairman, or the other bodies have the credentials and capabilities to redevelop this park in a single person's vision. We absolutely must engage park planning professionals to design and plan for the future of this park. We all must know our limitations. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Maria Ortiz. I live at 3091 Northwest 33rd Street, Miami, Florida. I have been a firefighter for the last 29 years for Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and I'm here as one of the volunteers for the ministry of Bethany Community Church. It's an amazing church in the city of Miami, and it's a privilege for me to serve, first as a firefighter and then as a volunteer for the church, especially when we serve less fortunate families in the city of Miami. And I'm asking you today to please support Resolution 16508 so we can continue to bless the citizens of Alapata. We not only do it for the love of God, but we also for the love of the citizens of Alapata. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Brian Kern. I live at 900 Biscayne Boulevard, speaking in regard to PZ1. Madam Chairwoman, I'm deeply concerned by your attempts to limit public comment in these meetings. It infringes upon my First Amendment rights. The U.S. Constitution guarantees the right to free speech, particularly in public forums such as this. Public officials are entrusted to serve the community, and criticism, whether harsh or not, is a natural part of the democratic accountability. Attempts to silence or limit that speech through arbitrary rules or censorship undermine the purpose of these meetings, which is to foster open dialogue and transparency. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Dr. Doug Roberts, President and CEO of the Philip and Patricia Frost Museum of Science at 1101 Biscayne Boulevard in District 2. On behalf of Frost Science, we recognize the importance of the Omni CRA to our community. The Omni CRA is vitally needed in our arts and entertainment downtown district in Miami, especially with the gubernatorial veto of all arts and culture funding from the state of Florida budget. This veto has resulted in a combined loss of $6.5 million to Miami-Dade County organizations alone. Additionally, all of us in the downtown corridor are feeling the impact of the ongoing construction project connecting I-395 Signature Bridge project. Local support has become more crucial than ever. We urge the Commission to extend the life of the Omni CRA. This extension will provide meaningful support for Frost Science, our cultural colleagues in the area, the ARSH and PAM, and important projects, as has been discussed here, which benefit the area and continue the economic development in that area. These projects include improvements to our parks, shared spaces, infrastructure, historic preservation, and affordable housing that we all need. We hope you can count on your support in the extension of the Omni CRA. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. My name is Lunis Alvarado, and my address is 12436 Southwest 188th Street. And I would like to speak in support of item RE12. As a pastor in the Alapata community, and on behalf of both residents and fellow pastors in the area, I would like to support the resolution of expanding the Omni CRA to include the Alapata community. The expansion would greatly benefit our families, generations of residents, and small businesses that have long served our community. Additionally, it would support new entrepreneurs looking to establish businesses in Alapata. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to collaborating with the Omni CRA to advance the interests of our residents and of the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairwoman, Commissioners, Clerk. My name is Silvio Frank Pupocasco. I'm a resident of Alapata. I come to you to talk about CA1, CA2, CA6, RE12, and PH6. In regards to the first line, CA1, CA2, and CA6, the FDLE drone replacement program, the accepting of the donation for the co-pilot program from Microsoft, and the FIND, Florida Inland Navigation Waterway. I think these are all incredible opportunities to help digitize the city, help us move closer towards artificial intelligence, and leverage emerging technologies to help fill some of our operational gaps. RE12 and PH6 have been pretty really encouraging to see so many people from Alapata out here today. So I want to first commend everybody for showing up. It's very rare to see so many people from Alapata showing up. It's nice to see that and know that as somebody that's born and raised in Alapata, I completely support this expansion of the Omni CRA into Alapata. I used to be a little bit skeptical of the Omni CRA with all the billionaire projects, but I've seen that they're focusing more on the real needs of the community, and this expansion of the Alapata CRA will help us shortcut a 10-year process for us if we want to pursue it independently in Alapata. And by that time, all of us might be gone due to gentrification or climate change. And lastly, I've been touched by the story of the Bethany House, PH6. So I vote in support of using the public land for this public good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm not hitting on one particular commissioner, but I'd like to commend Commissioner Cabello for bringing up the freebie issue. It's a big concern to all of us, all of the districts, particularly Coconut Grove. We have a horrible system in the Grove. It's called pay by phone. When they say pay by phone, they mean they're royally having you pay by phone. If you're in there 15, 20 minutes over your time, you get like a $60 fine, and then you get violations days after that. People call me and say, Sue, is my credit going to be affected? Will they put a lien on my house? It's scary. Right now we have 2 freebies in the Grove, but it's not door to door. You have to get in your car, drive to the Grove, park in a parking lot, parking garage, pay, and then you call freebie. And what good is that? It doesn't help the traffic at all. So my issue is, and I'm glad that our city manager is sitting here because I sat on the bid for 20 years on the Parking and Infrastructure Committee, and I drove him nuts. But I know he realizes that we have valet parking. It's $20 an hour in the Grove, and of course you have to tip them. But I think it should be 18 years and older for people to use freebie. It's not to go to your neighbor's house for a play date or something if you're a youngster. And I know that Key Biscayne has it, Coral Gables, and Pinecrest, and I feel strongly that the Grove should have it also. So I appreciate your bringing it up. Thank you. I know that you're working on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Brenda Berancourt, 1436 Southwest 6th Street, in support of the expansion of CR8 to Alapata. And hopefully our commissioner will extend it to the rest of the city, including Little Havana, because we all need affordable housing. We all need help for the businesses. And at the end of the day, it's everybody wants taxes. Because if the only CRA receive that the only taxes are going to receive it from that area, then it's perfectly fine. But when we're using everybody else's taxes, then it should go to the entire city, because we all paying taxes, even those who rent. And their rent, they're paying taxes for the property where they live in. So it will be only fair. At the same time, I'm supporting PC3 for the duplex increases, because we need more affordable housing, and stop that illegal units there sometimes people create to support their mortgage when they have to pay for it. And at the same time, I would like just to pay attention to you guys, commissioners, CU, BTR, and our co-enforcement has been critical. We cannot just close one business and then somebody else show up with their attorney, and then we let the business is still operating with our CU and BTR. We cannot just punish the one that doesn't have the money to pay for an attorney, and we let the other ones free. And the reason I mention this is because we do have businesses next to each other. The one is closed that doesn't have a BTR and CU, and then the other one is open. We need to be even at the time that we are going to be using the law or the regulation of the city of Miami. We cannot just facilitate one and not the other. And support for the building, because many, many years back, with my family, we went to that building and support for those when you lack of money for food. So support for PH6.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Commissioner Cabello, for the freebie. It's much needed, and I back up everything Sue McConnell said. As a matter of fact, a couple Saturdays ago, we had a Live Local meeting in Vizcaya, and a few of us went and had some lunch, and a lady was 2 minutes late paying her pay to park, and she received a $59.99 letter in the mail yesterday for being 2 minutes late. What happened to $18 parking tickets? We have a problem with, just wanted to mention that. Thanks.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Good morning.
Uh-oh, there's got to be trouble here. This is my wife.
Madam First Lady of
I want
District 1.
I want you to know neither the office, him, or anybody knows that I'm going to speak. To him, this is personal. In 2006, when he was in the zoning board here, he fought for this, to have Camilo's house not in our district. Sorry, I got nervous. The big interest went against him because he did that. And for years, stopped him from running for office. He's lived in the district. These are his report card from elementary in Santa Clara. Okay? This is why he was in the zoning board, and I found it the other day. So I want you to know this to him, his district is personal. This is not a joke. We work around the clock. We have not taken vacation, and everybody tells him to take vacation because he's really working for the district. So whatever he's doing is not to put money in his pocket. It's to do good for his district. So that's all I want to say. I know he was afraid that I'm here.
Thank you. Seeing no one else for public comment period is now closed. I would ask my colleagues if they may have a motion for AM1, AM2, AM3, and AM4 to approve the minutes of those meetings June 18th, 2024, June 27th, 2024, July 11th, 2024, and July 25th, 2024.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, are there any items from the consent agenda that you would like to pull for discussion?
Yes.
Vice Chair?
CA1.
CA1. Commissioner Gabella, would you like to pull any CA items for discussion?
I'm sorry. I'm carried away by what my wife said.
I know, it's very
Very
emotional.
emotional.
I'm in tears.
Did we
I went to Santa Clara.
What's that?
I went to Santa Clara Elementary.
I did.
Me too.
Thank you.
While you're at it, let me compliment you because
Thank
your
you.
wife representing you well.
Thank you very much.
Spoke from the heart.
Thank you.
And to all of the people that are here from Alapata, I can see that you all are real. You believe in what you're here for. I can only assure you my vote here. You will have my vote in whichever way to bring the monies that Alapata needs. We have, for many years, through CRAs, taken care of other parts of Miami. Alapata has been the most forgotten one. I used to represent Old Little Havana, and I represent most of it. But even Little Havana, with all the needs that it has, it's nowhere near the needs that Alapata has right now. And the needs that you have there, it's not the needs for 5 or 10 or 15 or $20 million. You have real needs, and this city has an obligation to make a real difference there. Commissioner Reyes has always stated what I have. I came from the days that to run for a commissioner, you ran citywide. Yes. So when I first became a commissioner at 24, probably younger or around the age of some of the people here, I ran citywide. And all the other times that I got elected, I was elected citywide. It wasn't until I ran now for districts and re-election that I ran for districts. When I was mayor, it was citywide. And Commissioner Reyes has stated because he goes back to those years, that even though we represent districts, we have an obligation to the whole city.
Absolutely.
And Alapata has to be next in line.
Yep.
Alapata cannot be the forgotten part of the city any longer. And I will do everything that I can to support Commissioner Gavela in getting sufficient funds to make Alapata into what all you want to see it. CRAs, they work. All you have to do is look at the Omni CRA. The gentleman that came here from Benicia, he hit it right in the head. What a difference it made. You go through the Omni CRA, for the most part, it's a very luscious neighborhood. The money made the difference, but it was 24 years of getting those dollars and still has 6 more years into the life. So I compliment all of you because I saw people here that are the real Miami, talking from the heart. I saw some of you that tears came out from your eyes. Those are real tears. Those are not tears of actors like I've seen sometimes. Those are real tears of real people. And God bless all of you.
Madam Chair?
Hold on one second. Commissioner Parter, are there any items from the consent agenda that you would like to pull for discussion?
No, and I'll continue reserving my comments.
Commissioner Reyes, any items you would like to pull for discussion?
For discussion from the CA?
CAs.
No, but I wanna make a comment because it touched me a lot when I saw Commissioner Gavela wife being so emotional about it. I didn't quite understood why, but I have to tell you and congratulate you because she has represented you well every time that we have met in any other functions that we have. She has represented you well.
Thank you.
And also I want to make sure that for a long, long time I've been asking for CRA for the Alapata, but I must remind you guys that it is not as easy as it is said. But what my commitment is to find a way that investments that take place in Alapata, the additional taxes of the TIF remain within Alapata in certain areas because nobody is going to approve 2,700 acres of a CRA. Nobody's going to approve that. So have some corridors that they can produce that they could stand their additional income, the additional revenues into, I would say earmark them for street, for drainage, for affordable housing, et cetera, et cetera. And it's my commitment to try to find a solution because Alapata, and I used to say that, and I used to tell this to Mr. Urra, who was a very good friend of mine, and we worked together, that Alapata definitely was the Dempsey dumper of the city of Miami. When they built Camilo's house, they built before that, they have the prisons for women. They have Camilo's house. The city dump is in Alapata. Everything is in Alapata. So it's about time that we start helping Alapata. And whatever it takes, I don't think it is going to be, I'm going to be very honest. I am very blunt and very honest. It cannot be under an extension of the Omni CRA because it is not, we cannot decide that by ourselves, but it's also the county. But we can by ourselves make decisions. What are we going to do with additional funds that are going to be created in Alapata in certain area, and how could be remain those funds remain in Alapata for specific use? And I'm willing to work with you, Mr. Gavela, and any time that we can sit down and talk about it. And I believe that there is a consensus in this commission to help you. I commend you for this initiative. I really commend you. Although we don't agree in the way that it's going to be done, but we agree that something got to be done, and it's going to be done. Okay? So I just wanted to say that.
Can I?
Yes, Commissioner Gabella.
First, I want to thank my wife. That's why I love you, honey. You know, thank you for showing up. Let me concentrate my efforts here. So I want to start by saying thank you all for coming. It shows you have an interest in your district, and this hasn't been seen for a long time. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, my wife and I, my family. Thank you. I think we all thank you up here, absolutely. You know, for you caring for your neighborhoods and your fellow brothers and sisters. So thank you. But what I want to say is, had I not raised this issue of the CRA as it's wanted to be done with the time frame, without the boundary extension, we're going to be forgotten. Is the actual fact. The only reason we're here is because the CRA was talked about because something happened last year. You know, that happened and it was here, and it didn't happen in your area. You know, because somebody asked me, why don't you go and ask Chairwoman King for Southeast Overtown Park West? And I'd say that's wrong because that'd be the poor taking from the poor. Your area needs it as much as mine, as much as other areas also. Carollo's area also needs it. There's plenty to go, plenty of needs. But having said that, I want to point out to the Commissioner's comment right now of the 2,700, I think he said 2,700 miles, or the square miles. I don't know. I lost the number. That's why I've been trying to negotiate and have a sunshine with all of you for a month now. That's why I said I would be, from day one, I had a proposal. This is my map, my proposal. Okay, it cuts the area in half that originally was sought for. Last year, this is the map right here. I want to show you all. It cuts that area. If you see the area, put it up, James. If you see the area, the Alapad, the CRA as wanted to be expanded last year was all this area here. Okay, all this area here is the CRA over here. We have cut this down. Okay, so the Omni CRA area, as was proposed last year, okay, and passed, was all this area here in blue, okay, and then this is the Omni portion of it, the one in yellow. I'm sorry. This is the Overtown Park West. I have cut. I saw that, and from the beginning, that I asked you gentlemen and ladies, Chairwoman, to ask you guys for a sunshine meeting to discuss the boundaries. This was what I intended all along, but I never got the meeting, so I could never show you. I said, you know what? It's time to show it. And this is completely different from my predecessor, who sat here, you know, and you know, did this whole mess that he created. But while we were talking about it, you know, it wasn't a bad idea in the sense that we're not looking for the whole area. We have given back 40 to 45% of the square mile of the area. I'm sorry, of the area. We're looking for this area here, which are the needs. The 7th Avenue corridor, up to 19th Avenue, all the way up to 36th Street. And bottom line, what I wanted to show that we are prepared to negotiate, but nobody has come to the negotiating table. Having said that, okay, no, I cannot, in good faith, pass the Omni CRA as it stands on the extension of the time, because then what will happen is our area will be forgotten. They will have gotten what they wanted. They will continue to improve their area, which I contend that 85% of their area has been improved. I congratulate you. Mission accomplished. Okay, mission accomplished. And I just want to say also this: when we had that meeting last Saturday, we learned. I think Commissioner Carollo asked, where were we spending those tax dollars of the Omni CRA in 24 years? And we learned that it was spent elsewhere other than Overtown, their section of Overtown. And Mike, I think I'm correct in what Isaiah said. Now is when they're going to start to spend their money in their Overtown, their portion of Overtown, never mind ours. So in good faith, Commissioner Reyes, and I know you have a good heart, and in good faith, Commissioner Baidu, I know you also have a good heart, I cannot go along with this, and it wouldn't be right for us to go along with this, because what you're asking is to take care of your problem. Vote me, vote for our stuff. Let's get the time span so we can have another, let's see, 2047. That'd be 17 years, and you got 6 left. So that's 23 years in total that you have. I understand for a bonding capacity. I understand about finance. I'm a business guy. I know about the numbers. Okay, but here's the thing: you guys are going to solve your problem. Okay, and we're going to stay where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let yourselves be fooled. Anything that's helped, that's done to expand this CRA. And again, I proffer this as goodwill, that I am not ambitious. I've been called. The Miami Herald, Political Cortarito, and others think that every time there's going to be an important issue, okay, they're going to somehow coward me or bully me into voting one way or the other. In particular, it was said now that I am now, I am now like my predecessor that sat here that was arrested on corruption charges and is now awaiting trial. Okay, and I do not. No. I'm talking, and I've said the truth. I have stated the truth, and this is public information. So I'm not saying anything new. But however, since I'm being attacked, let me make it clear that Commissioner Pardo, when I have to vote with you because the item is right, I will vote with you, sir. And Commissioner Carollo, when I have to vote with you because your item is correct and it merits it, I will also do the same. I don't want the Miami Herald or anybody else, any entity thinks that they're going to bully me. Okay, every time there's an item on your item, sir, for District 2, that somehow they're going to control me, they're going to control me before the event. This has happened in the past with the sign business, that for me, honestly speaking, I had, my people, they didn't care if the sign stayed or went. And this is the funny part, what you guys are concentrated and concerned about. You guys, for 2 or 3 months, had a big problem with a sign that some of them, they could have put a curtain and blacked out, but they needed that sign gone because that's what affected them. They made a big deal about that. Meanwhile, in our section, at 7 o'clock at night on the Northwest 7th Avenue corridor or 17th Avenue, you know what we're concerned about? A family's concerned about going to the grocery store and not get mugged and not get robbed. This is the difference, sir, when I say that you guys have already improved your district, and congratulations to you, because I'm happy. Because I like progress. I am a businessman. I am a capitalist. By all means, I like money like everybody else, and I like progress, okay? Good for you. 85% completed, mission accomplished for you. But now it's our turn, sir. Now it's our turn. And by the way, exactly why was it ending in 2030? Because they expected that 20, 30 years would be enough to get that place in order, and they have. And that's why it sunsets in 2030. But we failed to mention that. It sunsets in 2030 because they've accomplished the mission, and that was the mission. Now they want to continue to 2047 because they want to continue the party. And their concern is such things as climate change and building a seawall. Well, I'm concerned about that too. When we've had the money, we can all, have both things. But here's the problem. The flooding, the big flooding issue, that we have it 3 or 4 times a year. We can have a real bad one maybe one time, I don't know how many years, 5. But you know what? Every single day in Alapata, we have a problem with crime. We have a problem with homelessness and everything else that goes along with it. And what you guys are asking is, let me fix my climate problem over here. Let me fix that. Let me now start to work on the Overtown CRA. Well, you guys, and by the way, you're not to blame for this because you weren't there. Let me make that clear. You were not there. Okay? But they had 24 years, people, to invest in their Overtown, and they did not. In their own Overtown, they did not. And now you guys expect me to go along with this fiasco here? And let's get them fixed. Let's extend their 2047, but we're gonna wait, okay? No, we negotiate on this. Respectfully, sir, we don't get that done until something is put together and this is taken care of. And by the way,
Commissioner, I believe we.
Everybody else spoke and nobody.
Let me speak.
All right.
I let everybody speak. All I asked was if anyone wanted to pull a consent agenda item for discussion. What you are saying is coming up. There's an item on the committee.
Can I just finish?
Let me finish.
All right.
What you are saying is there's an item on the agenda that will address what you have just said. I didn't interrupt you because everyone has spoken, and I don't want you to, except Commissioner Pardo, and I don't want you to say, I let everyone speak, and I didn't let you have a chance to speak. So, gentlemen, I am asking you, when I ask a question, because Commissioner Reyes, you went and you started talking about Alapata and the CRA and Commissioner Carollo, that is an item on the agenda. We can speak about it when we get to it. I am asking now, I'm going to have to let Commissioner Pardo say something if
Wait a minute,
like.
I haven't finished. I have not finished, and I want to finish. I want to finish.
And our city clerk is going to put the timer on 5 minutes
Very
for
good.
each. I understand. It's why I'm trying to get to our agenda. We're not going to take a 3-hour lunch because we have a long.
Take breaks at noon.
Yes, I understand.
So
Let us.
what time can we come back?
We're not. I don't want to take a break right now. Let us get some work done. Let us get some work done. Let us go at least till 12:30. We can get some of the items that are not controversial and come back. Commissioner Pardo, do you have something to say?
I do. I feel like I do really need to say something at this point. What I want to say is, first of all, thank you guys for coming out. Our district, we do everything about engagement. That's why we do Zoom calls. We love it. Please keep coming back. Keep paying attention to the agenda. My colleague, Commissioner Gabala, I commend you. Fantastic for your engagement, boots on the ground, and your wife and everyone on your team. What I'd like to say is this. We do not need to be pitting one community against another. We have the ability and the funds and the structures to take care of all of us. We don't need to do this and that. I love Little Havana. I've done festivals there for 8 years. I grew up there. I love Alapata. I go through there all the time on my bike. Little Bahamas, as a child, I slept over there. I went to St. Hughes School. This is my Miami. And like my colleagues, it's about all of Miami. The item RE12 is a simple ratification. It's an acceptance of something that has already been approved at the county level, at our level, and it allows us to claim our capacity. You can think about it like as if you had a check that was endorsed and it's on your desk and it's not earning interest. You're just sitting on that check and waiting. And while you wait, you lose the opportunity of that interest. So while we wait to pass this extension, we lose $500,000 in bonding capacity every month. We've been doing this since 2020. We've lost $24 million in capacity since 2020. We were not here during this whole time. But we are here now, and we've been here since January. And thank you, Asia Jones, Executive Director of Omni CRA. We have been here. And yes, it's shameful that for a CRA that has been around since 1987, and by the way, that's why you see some pretty tall buildings, beautiful spaces over here. That's normal. Park West is a different area than parts of Overtown. That's all normal. But it does not mean that we don't have work to do. It's shameful that since 1987, we have only invested 6% over that whole time, 6% in our portion of Overtown. And we have 40% of Overtown in Omni CRA. There is so much to do, and we don't have enough to do it with. So taking from Peter to PayPal does not make sense. We have already said we're incredibly committed to Alapata, and we want it funded. And I will be the first to vote for that. So, let's keep doing it, keep coming out. We can do everything. We don't need to pit one area against another. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. And I'm going to allow Commissioner Gabella to say a few more words, and then we're going to get to the consent agenda items.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. I promise I'm going to be brief, not more than 5 minutes. So, he's correct. We don't need to be pitting each other against each other, and this is not the idea here. Okay? But here's the thing. When he says that let's get this done, and then there's another way to do ours, they have theirs in black and white. We're not going to get ours in black and white, because what's going to happen is they're going to forget, because they got what they wanted, and then they'll move on, and then this item here, there'll be no leverage. There will be no leverage because they got their way, and this item will be forgotten. Okay, and then I want to say something else for the record. I have vastly improved this from what it was of July of last year. I offered that as being, what Ray is saying, being, prudent in realizing that my predecessor was very greedy in this, and I understand that, and went for a whole swath of area and created this mess. This is Gabella's proposal, my proposal, okay? Don't put his name on my stuff anymore, okay? I asked the Herald to do it and everybody else because I am Miguel Angel Gabella. I was elected in December 2nd of 2023, when I took office, okay? This is a radical difference proposal than what was passed last year, okay? And what I'm saying to you all is we got to get real here. There's nothing, you guys have it in black and white. And if we pass this, you guys have it in black and white. Meanwhile, you're asking me for my people to take the word. But you know what? When you ask them, okay, how are we going to fund it? Are we going to do a bond rating? Which I asked, by the way, Larry Springs and everybody. Nobody gives it to you in black and white. No, trust us, and trust us. No, I don't trust. I'm like Ronald Reagan. I grew up with Ronald Reagan when I was a kid. Trust but verify with the Soviet Union. And this is the same thing. Trust but verify. We are no longer going to stand for promises of unbroken promises. When they put the Camilo's house, my wife was crying, but what she was saying is I used to be on the zoning board when I was 36 years old. In 2006, I served for 7 years. And to be very brief, I was against Camilo's house because I knew what was going to happen. They would forget about us, and they did. I got fired for that, by the way. I had to resign because of that, because of my principles, okay? So, but I am pleading with you gentlemen. Okay, no, this cannot be, we cannot give you the extension until this matter is taken care of in black and white, whether it be a bond issue or anything else, whatever it is that we come up with, Manolo, then we do it. Because otherwise this is just lip service. This is just lip service if we turn a blind eye. Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion? May I have a motion for CA 2, 3,
Motion.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I have a motion. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Can we bring up CA1 now?
Yes. CA1 for discussion.
Mr. Manager, who do we have here that can explain to us the new drones that are being talked about here to buy?
The chief is here to address it. Good morning, Commissioner. Robert Evey, the Director of the Department of Fire Rescue. So in, I believe it was January 2023, the state passed by legislation that state and local governments could not fly drones that were made from parts of countries of concern, China being one of them. The vast majority of drones at that time were DJI, which are Chinese made. The fire department and our urban search and rescue team have 19 DJI drones that have been grounded since then that are used only for search of life and search and rescue and to prevent loss of life. So the state, recognizing that they passed this law, but we didn't have any funding to replace them, it placed a drone buyback program where they have granted up to $25,000 per drone that we can exchange our drone and receive $25,000 to purchase a what's called a blue list drone, which are drones made with parts made in the United States or countries that are not of concern.
I didn't know that you had so many drones, 19.
We have 19.
Secondly of all, I didn't know that you had all the Chinese drones. So all of our homes, could be going right to China. They could be seeing it all. Wonderful. How quickly are you going to be making those changes?
So the grant's already available. The state allotted a total of $25 million. Some of the local jurisdictions are ahead of us. There's still dollars available. So as soon as the commission, if it's approved, we'll go ahead and start in the next couple of months.
What guidelines do you have to protect our residents' privacies so that we're not living in the times of Big Brother, that we have drones all over the place, looking at people, looking at properties?
Right. So state law prevents that. I'm not a police officer, but drones in the state of Florida cannot be used.
It's a very weak law. There's not a criminal penalty.
I'll tell you, within the Department of Fire Rescue, we're clear that we only use it during search and rescue and to prevent loss of life. We don't place drones up in the air if there's not a disaster or emergency occurring. We don't use them. It's not in our policy.
It's just only for search?
Search and rescue and to search for loss of life.
Okay, when you say search, loss of life, can you
So-
explain a little more?
So something outside clearly of a search and rescue would be a large fire where we are making the decision of whether or not we're going to send firefighters in or not, and we will put a drone up to see the collapse risk of a building, and it's the loss of our firefighters.
And remind them, we just did a deployment of a drone at the
Temple Court
the Temple
fire.
Court.
We didn't have our own, but police who are a year ahead of us had American-made drones. We were able to use it, and the footage was given to our incident commander so we can see the roof structure, and it was beneficial in fighting the fire.
Very good. All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I make the motion for
I
CA1.
second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor of CA1?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Would anyone like to pull any PH item for discussion? PH 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6?
I'd like to pull PH4 for a brief discussion.
Madam Chair, PH6 needs to be deferred to the next meeting. Had a notice.
PH6?
PH6.
Okay, sorry, that's my item. That's what they're here, just for the record. They're here for this item. The pastor is here so we can give them this building that was put up behind me.
Right.
And that's what some of them are here for, okay? And can I ask, I know there was a problem with advertising, I understand that. But, I thought that building's been vacant for 30 plus years, 20 plus years. Nobody's been interested in it. All of a sudden, we're interested in it because of the pastor. He came to my office early on and said, hey, can you identify some properties for us that, I'm having a problem. And we did, and we took a tour with you. And, they're going to upkeep the property. The property now is in disrepair. Okay, it's going to be beneficial for the community. They're feeding the community, but not only at that neighborhood, which looks at that property, it's a sore eye. Okay, it's not doing anything. I'd just like to speed this up and, not
Can you
defer.
explain why you are saying that it needs to be deferred?
Yeah,
Can
that's
you
what I
explain?
want.
Yeah, so George Weissong, City Attorney. The issue is this item was published as requiring a 4/5 affirmative vote after an advertised public hearing. Because we treat these as a bid waiver, so by selecting this church to give it to, we can do that with a 4/5 waiver so long as it's advertised. Unfortunately, this item was not advertised for this meeting, so we're asking it be deferred to the next meeting so that it can be properly advertised, and we'll take it up then. All the comments of the folks that spoke today will carry over to this item, so everybody that spoke, your items are on the record and will be
Yes,
part of the record.
as we discussed in the briefing, because of the notice requirement, but out of respect for the fact that the commissioner was going to have a significant amount of attendance here today on that item, we decided not to defer it at the beginning of the agenda plasma to allow them to speak, and then just defer it later to the next meeting so that everything that they had to weigh in on relative to their support would be heard, and then that way it just comes at the next meeting.
Okay, I just want to state it on the record that, we've been at this for a while now, and I'd like to see this done. He's ready to go, and please let there not be any funny business. And if he has a vote, he has certainly my vote. And I believe, you guys, you gentlemen heard that, I think we're not going to have a problem, please, for the next meeting, so we get
Do
this
I need
done.
a motion to defer it?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
PH6 has been deferred to the next commission meeting,
September 26th.
September 26th.
Okay.
Commissioner Carollo, you were saying you want to pull PH4 for discussion?
Yes, for a brief discussion.
Okay. Any other items my
Not-
colleagues would
Madam
like to?
PH, move PH is.
Okay, so I'd like a motion for PH 1, 2, 4, and 5.
Move.
I'm sorry, PH1?
PH 1, PH 2, PH 4, and PH 5. All in favor?
Chair, for PH5 needs to be amended. There's a document labeled backup that needs to be changed to Exhibit B. So PH5 is amended.
PH 5 as amended.
As amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
That was 1, 2,
1, 2, 4, 5.
No, not 4. 1, 2, 3.
No, 1, 2.
I pull 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 5.
1, 2, and 5.
1, 2, and 5. PH 4 for discussion. Commissioner
Mr. Manager, or Mr. City Attorney, whichever is appropriate to answer. In this resolution, it says that competitive negotiation methods and procedures are not practical or advantageous for the city of Miami. What does it mean, and what are you talking about here?
So this is similar to PH6 in that due to, I guess, DFI Monday's work, it is determined that the manager made a finding that competitive negotiation methods and procedures are not practical or advantageous for the city of Miami. So the manager's reasons are in that memo, and you're waiving competitive bidding by a 4/5 vote in order to give this to DFI Monday.
Okay, you have no problem in waiving competitive bidding, Commissioner Pardo?
No, I don't in this case. I'll explain why. This is actually a very impactful project. We might actually get 50% AMI for half the units, and we may be able to do up to 16 units instead of 8. But the people that have been working on it and specializing on this subject matter need to stay as part of this. So all of a sudden, this is all changed because of Casa Valentina and the transition which happened with the nonprofit.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just wanted to make sure, because in other votes that have been taken within the city, you have expressed, or others close to you have expressed concern.
Oh, no, that's why I appreciate it.
And
I
I wanted to get this out in the open. You're saying that maybe they could go as many as 16 units. How would that be? Is there
Perhaps, because
zoning change, or
they're looking at micro units. So they're looking at the possibility of doing that and thereby also being able to bring in a 50% AMI.
okay, even if they stay at the 8 units, what's the approximate price range that they're going to sell?
I don't know the approximate price range that they'll end up in, but it's all been substantiated through their work. I just don't know that level of detail. But happy to provide it for you.
Well, I don't want to hold it up. If it's something that sounds reasonable, I'm not one here that's going to be petty on things, just like I voted for many things in your district. I will make the motion for this. It's 8 units, at least 8 units, plus they're keeping the old Coral House.
And 80% AMI.
Yeah, 80%, which is a substantial amount. So even though it's $50,000 for each house, one that is going to be a community one, it's not for sale. It's high, but it's not unreasonable on the $50,000. You get more, even though they'll be smaller in size, you'll get more people involved. But I'll make the motion for it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
PH4 passes unanimously. I'd like to take up the mitigation items now. RE2, 1168 Northwest 2nd Street.
How about RE1?
Good afternoon,
All right.
Madam Chairwoman,
Good afternoon.
Commissioners.
Please announce what district this mitigation is for.
For RE2 is within District 3. And RE2 is the mitigation of a property located at 1168 Northwest 2nd Street. The owner, and as I've said individually, please don't shoot the messenger. The owner of record is Kewola Sere Inc. And it's a D3 case CE 2019-008507. Notice of violation was issued on May 1st, 2019 for a number of code violations, including failure to maintain non-conforming parking lot, parking on unimproved surfaces, construction work without permits, and to include in the public right-of-way. Adjudicated on November 7th, 2019, complied on May 2nd, 2023, running for a total of 1,057 days, accruing a total of $264,250. As I met with all of you individually, the respondent offered The offer is $39,637 with 50 cents, which is exactly 15%. And yesterday, very late, I met with council in a last-minute meeting where that amount was confirmed.
Mr. Co-Director?
Yes, sir.
What was the construction of the right-of-way?
Do you have it? Go ahead.
It's still no, it's afternoon. Good afternoon, Rachel Ridley, Office of the City Attorney. In this particular case, it was a non-conforming parking lot, parking on improved surfaces, and then signage for the parking itself. It wasn't a massive structure or anything put into the public right-of-way.
Okay, well, just wondering why we're going at some unimproved parking. I'm wondering why we're going at some unimproved parking lots in my district and not others that have bragged that they have it and we don't do anything about it. But
That I can't tell you.
yeah, it's approximately a year, almost a year to the date since the case was opened till the time that they comply, correct?
That's accurate.
Okay, so while this is not life-threatening, it's not a building, it's parking, I think 15% is a reasonable amount
Yes,
for them. Unless they would like to make any further statement, or you all would, I will be willing to make the motion to accept it.
Yep. Michael Yiannopoulos, 200 South Biscayne Drive. We're okay with the 15%.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
As amended.
As amended. RE3, and please announce the district.
Yes, Madam Chairwoman.
Thank
you. And I had here, could you tell me, because it says
6050 Southwest First
I have it
Street.
as D3. So I put a line through it. So the property address for the violation in question is at 650 Southwest First Street. Owner of record is 650 First LLC. It is D3. The case number is CE 2018-024494. Notice of violations were for vacant, blighted, and unsecured property, failure to maintain and register lot. The case was adjudicated on February 7, 2019. It complied, according to our records, on 2/4/2021, running for a total of 727 days and accruing a total of $181,750. As I explained when I met with each of the districts, when we cross in iBuilt, our database, the violations were corrected by way of demolition, and the date of the demolition is much earlier in the process. Based on the information that I have, the respondent is offering $18,175, which is 10% of the accrued total, which I think is a fair offer.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, commissioners. Once again, Jezebel Lima. I'm here for the property owner, 650 First LLC, and we are offering 10% of the mitigation. Importantly, we are the current owner. We took this property when we purchased the property. We did a lien search and were advised that there were no outstanding liens on the property. However, we do note that the demolition did take place within the 3 months. It's just that the former owner never contacted code enforcement in order to have the inspection, and that's why this took longer than anticipated. But we're here in good faith. There was some related litigation that could be disposed of with this mitigation payment, which we are offering.
How can you not know that there were liens in the property?
We did their search and then their report, and they contacted several individuals from the city and were given emails from code enforcement individuals saying that there were no outstanding code violations on this property.
You didn't get any title insurance on it?
Yes.
You have title insurance?
Yes, sir.
So shouldn't they pay then if they didn't pick that up?
And they're offering to cover our mitigation.
Okay, so
If I can, just to bring up something, Rachel Lee, on behalf of the city attorney's office, in this particular case, there were at one point several open violations. I believe most of them were disposed of via waiver format when we were in the middle of the pandemic. We weren't letting people into the code board meetings. And this particular violation got left off the table. In fact, they sent it to me. We looked at the emails, and we'd probably gone through 3 or 4 of them that we took care of, and we did miss this one. I don't know about the title insurance, but I can say on that particular end, because I did review everything, and also in reviewing it, and the reason why, and they're offering 10% off of the full amount, just to be aware that the initial hearing was in February of 2019, and they were in compliance actually in May of 2019.
Well,
so it was, I think the total lien would have been around $30,000 at that point.
What I have here, Rachel, is that the original case opened up 11/28/18, which is a year and 3.5 months before the pandemic.
That is correct. That is correct.
They went to the hearing on February 17, 2019. There was about a year and half a month before the pandemic hit. Actually, a year and a month plus before the pandemic hit. That's where they got hit with $250 per diem per day if they didn't comply.
Right, that's correct. And then once everything they realized was complied, we did the mitigations on the other violations with the current owner during the course of the pandemic. That's what I meant, not when their violations were. But
the people that are at fault and they have to pay is the people that provided them title insurance. You heard her say that they would pay. So based upon what I'm seeing here, based upon what we just did on the prior one, that was only a year. This is well over 2 years. I have to ask for the same, not 10%, but minimum 15%. So,
I have a motion.
the motion.
Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. All in
I'm
favor?
sorry, Chair, who's the seconder?
Commissioner Reyes. All in favor as amended?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. RE4, 5101
RE4.
Northwest 17th Avenue.
Yes, Chairwoman. RE4 is a mitigation of a property located at 5101 Northwest 17th Avenue. Owner of record is Ebony Daughtery. This property is in D5. Notice of violation was issued on September 9, 2016 for construction work without permits, to wit, a fence and installation of a electric motor for opening. The NOV issued on 9/9/2016, adjudicated on February 2nd, 2017. It complied after 2,141 days. I believe respondent or counsel for respondent will say that she had relied on someone to correct the violation. It accrued a total of $535,250. I understand that the offer is $5,000, which is less than 1%. And I'm going to let counsel explain that. And if you want additional information regarding the lot value, I think that's important. So I can provide that as well.
Attorney, would you?
yes, again, good afternoon, Rachel Dolly on behalf of the City Attorney's Office. This case came to my office when a lawsuit was filed by a friend of the owner, who is a very elderly woman living in, very elderly woman who lives in Georgia.
What's her name?
Ebony Daughtery is her name. Obviously, the complaint was filed incorrectly because it was a friend filing for her. We attempted to reach out, did a lot of things to try to get it done. It's taken us, I think the lawsuit's probably even more than a year old at this point, because we've been going through trying to get her through the process. The violation itself was for a fence that had a motor on it. She relied on having spoken with her, a fence with a motor. That's what I'm just trying to explain to you. And I spoke with her on the phone from Georgia. The mailing address, of course, even for the taxes, went to the house in Miami. Not the house. It's a commercial. It's a thrift store. They charge, I believe, $800 a month in rent. she's not making a profit off of this. So I'm just trying to sort of set that up for you. It was removed with the permit finally in 2022. It did take a very long time. I'm going to say there's probably extenuating circumstances that council will speak to, but they did make the offer of $5,000, which is well below the normal for the $535,000 that ran for 2,141 days. But I just wanted to give you an idea. She then finally got attorneys involved. And I think it was still difficult to communicate with her and explain the process and how to come.
Thank you.
We got here today.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commission. The issue is that she moved. She moved to another home in Georgia and did not receive any notification. The person who could perform the work for her did not, he opened the permit, but he didn't finalize it, from what I understand. And he died. So she was not aware if there was any postings at the property. She didn't receive it. He didn't give it to her. He died. She found out about it when she was going to sell the property in 2021, and it popped up on the title and lien search. Once she found out, she took action immediately and did everything she could to go ahead and rectify the problem, which she did. It took a little bit of close to a year since from that time, because she, of course, is not local, so she had to rely on people from another state to get the work done for her. She does reside in Georgia. She has changed the information in the tax record, so she has the correct address. She has been informed, and we will be guiding her from this point forward. But unfortunately, this is where we are. So even I understand the $5,000 is a little insulting. Forgive us. But if we can,
I got word from my staff that number changed.
That's correct. It did change. We're looking to hopefully from the time that she became aware in December 2021 to the time she got it corrected to charge us 15% for that from that point forward. And that total is $12,150.
I'm sorry?
$12,150.
Would you please state your name for the record?
I do apologize. Nancy Loverose.
Thank you. Thank you. You have anything else to add?
No, ma'am. I did say at one point in time, as I discussed with each of you, according to the property appraiser, the property is valued at $132,548 for your consideration.
I'm going to accept the offer that you made for the 15%. Say it again?
No. The $12,150?
$12,000.
Yes, I'm going to accept that. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As amended.
As amended. It is 12:30. At this time, I'm going to ask my colleagues if you would like to break for lunch and
Yes.
return at 2:30.
2:30. 2:45.
2:30. I see. The City of Miami Commission meeting for September 12, 2024 is now in recess. We will return at 2:30.